There's technically names for it, but who cares?
The disappearance of...
I have my notebook. I'll
Shire.
actually write this shit down so that I can interview you guys well.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're not
Are
live.
we ready, boys?
I'm not. It's stream delay.
Where's my pen?
Stream delay takes a second, dude.
I was about to say, you but I didn't
Yeah, I
realize
accidentally did.
By the way,
Oh, here's my pen.
G, my favorite way to sum up the barbarians, the half-orc ability.
Just don't die for him. Alright, let's start.
Wait. There you go.
What the fuck is this game being called?
After, I feel like after a few,
Disappearance of
the
Crypto.
disappearance of Crypto Pass.
I might take notes. God damn it, I don't have anything, so whatever.
Oh, boy.
Oh fuck, I'm not
There's
confused.
some useful plot info, but this is really just kind of a warm-up, like, get y'all used to the environment.
Okay.
There is plot stuff that's going to be happening, don't worry, but still.
Wait, fuck, the microwave's unplugged.
Alright, time to open up my word.
What?
Fuck.
Nick's gonna
How
be
the
that.
fuck do you plug it in? Where the
Oh,
fuck is the
buddy.
plug?
Nick, you're that guy in this campaign.
Oh, buddy.
Are you
No.
the microwave plug? Are you the microwave plug?
Oh, yeah. I don't think we have.
Well, we'll introduce ourselves in character, right?
Yeah,
Are
y'all can
you
introduce
the
yourselves in character
microwave
and, like,
plug?
meet each other.
Oh, boy.
Got it!
Also, I entirely support the use of character voices if you have a particular
Oh, no.
voice you want to use for your character.
My
I
throat.
support the shit out of
I'm
this.
going to do it anyway.
Okay,
I don't
no,
know
no,
if
no.
my
We're
throat can
using
take it.
Adventure Zone rules here. You get a character voice if you have a solid idea for a character voice and you can do it well and it doesn't.
Alright, I'm out.
someone else.
Goodbye.
Okay, so I'll hold off on that. I'll work on that.
Yeah?
Nice.
I'm gonna work on one, but I'm not gonna do it yet. I'll work on it.
No, I'm good. Thanks, Ed.
So, yeah, I have a good one for one of my other characters right now, but I can't use it for that one. She's a lot more elegant than this character.
Okay, everyone, shut up. Is it time? It's time. Is everyone here?
Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Change your name to your character name before you display.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Everyone
Pierce,
change
that was
their
really
names to the
creepy.
character name.
Well, how do I
Just,
do
my setting, display name.
How do we swap?
Oh,
Oh, display name, okay.
Yeah, if there's ever a one question, we'll just ask me. I have that.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Enable 3D dice. Woo!
Yeah, it looks.
I literally just changed my name from It Me the G to It Me the GM. That's all I needed to change.
You icon.
I pressed one button.
wait. Oh, I have to, like...
Class, hurry up.
Hey,
I'm having...
just a public service announcement. Whipped cream isn't good if it's been sitting in the room temperature.
Yes.
Nice. I approve.
Okay, am I correct in saying that that's Dish Rosa?
Yes, Miss Rosa.
Okay, Dish Rosa. I'm like, that's an X, and my brain doesn't know what to do with that.
I mean, hey, I think our joke earlier was better. Dick Sarvos.
I
No, I socials.
I will admit that's the first thing I thought when I saw that. I'm like, Dix Rosa? What?
Yes. That's my character's name, guys. Oh, God.
Wait, Twitch isn't Twitter?
No. Oh, actually, I can. There's a dice on screen at the bottom left.
Yeah.
Oh, there is? What?
Wait, what? Where?
Well,
Where?
y'all, if y'all need to figure this out, that
I'll do
much.
that.
How do I enable
Where
it?
is the dice?
Okay. Is everyone ready?
Yeah, we're all ready. Let's just start.
Wait, where did
Alright.
this go? Oh, no.
Alright, God button is coming out so that I can start doing exposition.
Okay.
Alright. So, all of you, the start of this story here, our quaint little tale, begins in a fishing village. Oh, hi. Hello.
Professional!
Be professional with this, just give me a second.
Critical force. Thank you.
Yeah, you gotta get into character. This is where we have our character banter, but we can't actually do it because we haven't been introduced yet. So, woo.
Story bard song. They sung a bard song with it. It was pretty bard-tastic. Also, I stole 5,000 gold and did something else. I'm a fantasy character.
5,000 gold.
Wait, that's cool. This a lot.
A month.
Mac and cheese, mac and cheese.
A lot. You can buy a lot of elephants with that. By the way, that's the universal standard for measuring wealth. How many elephants?
What type of elephants are we talking about? Serious question.
Like, no, I can imagine
Not
you
in this
doing
world.
Give me fork. Okay. Fork.
Thing is, I could imagine Pierce's character just being like, yeah, that's worth like 6 elephants.
Well, this is happening.
No, I would do that. My character.
Yes, I have several.
That's fair, that's fair.
What do you want to know?
You would do that.
Everything. Okay, first off, how do we know who's who and like moving around in here?
Okay, so the whole map thing is kind of irrelevant with the agreements music, but like, I don't know. Like, I guess we'll know each other by our voices, but like in combat, like to find out like who we roll
God
against.
damn it.
Oh, good.
Andrew, please stop.
Because this is just like an overall
What
map.
is
This isn't gonna be like
that?
you know what I mean? Like, this is a map of
How's Andrew doing that?
So, you go to characters, click your character sheet, hit bio and info, and then drag the icon onto the thing.
Oh,
And you
add
can rotate.
an icon on the bio info, please.
Yeah, you should add an icon if you want to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine is a direct representation of my character. Wow, this is the word to lick.
I kind of wish I drew my character now. Okay.
None of us have serious ones. Don't be
That's
scared.
fine.
Yeah.
It's a thing of pixie sticks.
This is fine.
I'm a pixie. Oh god, I'm not ready to do. High pitched voice. Here we come. Let's get ready.
You also could
Yo. Just think about it, man. I'm a lolly.
that's an option.
It's the only option.
Kill his
Wait,
character.
which one?
G's gone. She's doing something with the
Oh, also, Quigs, you should totally edit this because there's already been some high quality memes.
Well,
I
don't
will
know,
send you
gotta
the
send me the VOD first of
Wait,
all, secondly.
Wait, hold up. Before
Um,
I send the VOD, before we do anything, what do you actually go on my stream and make sure audio's on this time? Because I don't want to repeat that.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
sure.
Because that just wasn't fun. Alright, cool.
Yeah, audio's working.
That delay, though. Oh, that sucks. I need to fix that, but I can't, because Streamlabs says I have no delay. Even though I obviously
you
have a
want
delay.
audio?
Should I have it automatically roll damage too?
No.
No, because if you miss, then you don't roll damage.
No, but oh, I guess it's true.
Yeah, and then all you have to do is click.
Aw,
like, this,
fuck,
like,
I
the
need paper
attack.
towels.
It says
Pull up. Yeah.
Can you click on something? Can you click on the attack to make it
Okay,
roll
so yeah,
damage?
watch this now.
Or is it only roll the attack?
My favorite.
So, notice how I just did that?
Yeah.
Let's say it hits. I move my mouse over to the name Axo Chop. And I go, you can't because it's not
Yeah.
set to your character
It'll
sheet
be
for
like
icon.
this.
And it does that. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so you would do, like...
Natural one.
Oh yeah, my Mr. Steve Heavy. I actually did fix the bit alerts. So like this time it'll actually work and not be me just pretending it works and confused.
You would
Yeah.
have to, right?
If it's
Yeah.
highlighted in green, it's a crit.
Even when I click the damage on it, it'll do crit damage too.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, can you make me admin so I can change stream title? I mean,
You want to be mod? Why do you want to change stream title?
You can't, he doesn't have Nightbot.
oh my god, what kind of unprofessional...
Friendly
stream
reminder,
is
I'm
this?
affiliate and you aren't, so
Oh yeah, Candace knows.
You couldn't even get this set up, buddy, and you don't even know how. You don't even have Nightbot. What are you doing?
Hell.
What are you doing?
Oh, that's right, I need to give you a bit.
wait, why do you need to give me a bit? Oh yeah, right.
A single shiny Bitcoin.
Let's see what class says.
That one's
Nice.
Bit time.
Thank you, Lil Quaz, for that one bit. Of course, let me repronounce your name because I think I didn't do it justice. That's gonna be a Lil Quaz underscore. So thanks for that, man. Really appreciate it.
Hey Tyler, you want to see something cool? Constitution saves +7.
what?
Wait, how do I roll
we-
saves?
You go to
You go to your character.
Oh.
Click, you
No,
click.
no, I was wondering like how do we?
We don't really.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're not
it's
gonna have to
really
worry
not
about
gonna
that.
be like,
Okay.
it's there to kind of show us where we are, but I mean, we might use it at some point, but it's really not.
Okay, because I'm kind of puzzled.
Don't really worry
That'll
about
be
it.
fine.
Don't
That'll be
worry.
Part
We'll
is
be
not the most important part of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Honestly, Andrew, whenever I see a, by the way, whenever I see a King K. Rool meme now, all I can think of is interior crocodile alligator.
There's way too many K. Rool memes, dude.
Ah, that's.
How do I get rid of
What happened? Oh my god, what? What's even better
Hey Nick,
than
can you
that?
delete your icon just to clear the board?
Hey guys.
Okay, that doesn't help. Why is there?
Oh, that's if you're on select. If you're on select move, and you just select / move and you just left click, you make a pulse of like whatever color you are. So you'd be purple.
How do I clear the board?
I don't think no. Well, just select it and hit delete.
Yeah.
Select what?
Select the drawing.
And you can only select your own drawings.
Yeah.
It won't let me
so-
delete mine. I'm selecting it. It's not selecting.
This has already gone really well.
When the DM leaves.
And I did that. No, but
Oh yeah, I'm done with classes, my boy. Got numbers and exams. So what's up, man?
Congrats.
Also, greetings. This is D&D when the DM leaves before even giving the first speech. So
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, boy.
we definitely had an upgrade from good old D&D with the nerd herd. So welcome to D&D now, because that's what we're calling this. So woo. No, that's the campaign. But this is the group is now D&D now because you said so.
Oh, D&D now. It's creative.
Why?
Why?
Yo, my guy numbers. You should totally donate to me.
Oh god.
Alright, this is just shit post. Maybe we should play Overwatch while we wait. I'm sure as soon as I open Overwatch, our DM's gonna come back.
She's gonna be.
Oh my god.
I provide only the most quality of content.
Ooh, hello.
No.
So I can't be here
Oh,
for
that's cool.
like 3 hours.
Yo!
So,
There we go. Thanks for the bits.
There, I
Thanks for the
donated.
bits, my man. Guy numbers. You're the best. Heart or wait, what was it? There's the other heart. It's like this or something. I'm just really bad with making it. There you go. That's a heart. That is for you. Thanks, man. Also, congrats on almost getting out of pools. But you know what you didn't do? You didn't make it out of pools. So wait, who are you playing? Who are you even playing this match right now?
You really alienate two people.
He has 5 viewers at the moment, and I
Now
bet,
there's no review bots.
I bet
This is
it's
cursed.
Trumoomu. Not Trumoomu. You're what is it? The next Jadera, whatever your other account is.
No idea.
Me, Quaz, Guy number.
Does it actually count? Does it actually count me like the Trumoomu account as a viewer?
No. I was
No.
saying. I bet
Yo,
you're
what's
using
up, man?
your
We also got electrical skateboard. The Twitch bot for that shows up for some reason. Like, have you noticed that? Like,
Oh,
anytime anyone streams, there's always electric skateboard and like, it's like
There's always,
Captain
like,
Banana or
6
something,
viewers,
but they don't
yeah.
count toward the viewer count.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it was Squad Strike. So you're playing what character you absolutely can't play? A character that used to be good and not really, but he's still decent. Cloud's still decent, and then Mewtwo, who's probably gonna be top tier. So I like that. I don't know if Nestman's the way for you, dude. You've tried so hard with Ness,
Yeah, Nest
and
takes skills.
Oh.
Nest takes skills.
yeah, as Quad says, Nest takes skill, and you just don't have that, man. I'm sorry.
So much better. Now I can
As Claus said, Pog. I said it too, Andrew said
I just wasn't paying attention, as per usual. So all right, cool. I'm gonna just play some good old
suggest Isabel
nah, Isabel's garb.
or Kirby.
Actually, honestly, I'm very excited to make.
Let's see if this is gonna work. All right, yeah. We just so this is high quality D&D content, obviously.
this is absolutely high quality.
Okay, why did I swap? Keep it. I should have gotten that in character.
So yeah, this is great. Ooh, I forgot it's Christmas, so King's Row's different.
Is
No one
Christmas?
ever told you life was gonna have 2019
This way.
people ranked lower than me.
I love not being able to see my
I'm like
character.
2400 now, so
Dude, you grind up?
yeah, I played like 4 matches.
Nice. Wait, you only played nice.
Yeah,
Good job.
What are you talking about?
probably gonna be plat if
Oh
I keep
yeah,
playing more, so.
would you like to throw with me to ruin that?
Nope, I'm good.
I actually haven't played DPS in a while, and I kind of miss it.
I like how you're
It's
saying-
mystery.
No, but you said I haven't played. Oh, I assume you changed. You gotta fix this refill, I do. Cool.
High quality gameplay. Yo, fuck off, Farah.
Be this way. She wants to show us your bros. Stuck in second gear. The only thing wrong with Friends is Ross. Every other one, all the rest of them.
I just ulted in the middle of nothing. That was beautiful. You, sir, need to calm down. Aw, that KS. What are you doing, old lady? Damn it. Oh well. This is probably the greatest D&D content you will ever see.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, this is true D&D content right here.
We just gonna turn around and kill a Zenyatta. Just kidding. I can't play this character very well. Whoop, whoop. Oh, okay. That's okay.
I went downhill from there.
Yo, check it. Around the corner? Aw, no, I don't. I'm bad.
That was a
I
real
don't know how to
fight.
play that character. Ooh! Yo, I don't have a brain. I don't have aim. This is my character.
Are you playing with
Ah, fuck! Almost worked.
I don't know. The sounds kind of
I'm kidding.
Yo, there's a guy named Muselek in this game, because you know that's obviously the real Muselek. Okay, we just gonna die. That's how that works.
Good job, Nick.
Did it just become a widow?
No, that's the point. I just died on Widow. Whoa! Woo! Get
I
fucked!
wanna watch it live. Use Mixer for 1 millisecond.
It's called hold right click and then aim.
I'm doing that. It's not working. I'm also not Widowmaker anymore. So that's probably why it's not working.
Well, all right. For Reinhardt, you hold right click.
That's what I did.
Then you hold left click and don't aim. You just spin.
I'm no longer Reinhardt.
A friend of mine is sending me like art and memes from Voltron season 8, and I'm not okay.
Well, I still haven't seen any of Voltron.
You
Not
shouldn't.
many. I saw,
This is
like,
just a
the first
mess.
few minutes of it.
Yo, I'm Pierce. This is basically a free win, right?
Huh?
I'm disappointed in the fact that you.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons was actually amazing, but then it just went down.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't watch
I
it
couldn't pull off the Pierce.
because like I saw like discourse and I was like,
I'm
alright,
just not good at this video game.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I never said it was fed.
Yo, fuck off.
What is that crosshair for soul?
Man.
Yeah, I witnessed the whole thing firsthand.
What?
It's not enjoyable to look at.
It isn't.
I know, it could be much worse, but I'm just saying it's not, like...
I like how you're just standing behind this right. That
I
was
don't witness this
beautiful.
stuff.
Now this is true aim if I've ever seen true aim.
Holy shit, Nick, that was just incredible.
Oh boy, it's
You
dead.
deserve a bit for that.
You didn't lose a single match with Ness? You did, because you lost, and it's squad strike, so you had to have lost. Just saying. That's kind of how that works.
How did you do that? Oh, it's a right click.
Yeah, you hold it.
That was the most infuriating thing I have ever done. Thanks for the bits.
10 out of 10. You bad at
I ain't
Ness,
bad. Actually, I'm bad at
LMAO.
Ness, but I think someone else needs to admit it.
You bits.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Ah!
Bless your soul.
Wow.
The Ana play? Did you just see that?
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna happen again. So, it's the same Ana. It's gonna happen.
Scorpion. Or, wait, against the. Oh.
Ah! Get fucked. Bye bye. CYS sign. Get out of my Christmas town.
Yeah, heck.
Nick, it's
That
an
was-
Ana. And you're a
Mhm.
Scorpion. Who'd you get?
You can tell me. I won't tell anyone.
I won't be there, so, you know.
I also won't be there.
Secret Santa. Who did you get?
Pierce, you got me totally.
I have Luda.
Hey!
I have
I'm
socks.
here, sort of.
Fine.
Yay!
Wait,
Sort of?
Are we gonna be able to actually
but I'm playing Overwatch.
Well, we'll be starting by like 9.
Not...
9? Nanny? Oh, it's a 7.
Yes, it's like no, calm down.
Oh, I gotta stop leaning over to watch next stream. You have good posture.
What?
Fix your posture.
What about posture?
God. Okay, I actually because earlier today, I was thinking I was gonna get Leonie, but I had no clue what to get it, and I got Leonie.
Get Leonie above the hero thing. She loves it, yeah. She's cosplaying as Midnight in what is it? The
From
series
being a...
form for Anime Boss.
Oh, yo.
Nice.
There'll be another. I'm going as Eraserhead. It's gonna be fun. Except I'm bringing a sleeping bag. I set myself on fire. I hate this character. I just want to die. Thank you.
Ash does that.
I just saw something. Can you like fix your process?
What do you mean? What's wrong with them?
Also, your lag is really
Stop.
bad. Like,
Their default crosshairs.
uh-oh.
Oh, we don't time. Come on,
Poor
I'm...
chat.
Ah! 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 Got it! Got it, bitch! Got it, bitch! Got it, bitch! That was...
Wait, do you actually get the Reinhardt?
That was so dumb.
You got him in a corner. You got
Yeah, sure, your 3DS was broken, huh? At least you had a fucking, what's it called? Directional input. I had a nub. Do you know how bad the nub for a circle pad is? Oh, I'm dead.
Well, I just
I didn't have a D. I had to borrow my friend's DS. That was fun.
Oh, yo.
get him.
Don't worry, I could beat your NES blindfolded.
Alright, okay.
Alright, time to play.
Oh, wait, are we actually there?
Finally.
D&D time. Yay.
That was a little bit of an unexpected interlude.
Oh wow, that was actually perfect. Just as it ended.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, we up here. We in here. We ready to play the D and the D.
We get you ready.
Nick, you have to.
I will.
Applaud, though, because we are
I know, it's been pretty quality so far. Just the when the DM is away. And you can just put incoherent screaming, because that's all that really occurred.
Iconic.
Yo, it ain't the same thing because you had a circle pad. I didn't even have the circle pad. Secondly, you're just blaming the system because
Hey,
you can't even. Oh, hold up. Let me mute myself. Sorry, might be. Hold up, I'll be right back.
Here.
Yo. You're just like blaming for everything, but like, dude, you're just making excuses because you know I'm a better Smash player. All right, I need to go actually listen to this.
Why?
Oh my Jesus Christ.
Nick, why would you leave during the most...
So I wouldn't disturb y'all. Just go.
You can just use push to talk.
I don't want to use push to talk.
And also, I have priority speaking.
You don't have to do anything, Nick.
I can just talk. Literally, I can just talk over you like this.
Okay, just listen, Nick. She's doing the speech for the...
Okay, well, hi. Everyone shut up now. Thank you. Great. Wonderful. Hi. So, this is the thing that's happening. This is Dungeons & Dragons. Our little tale is starting here in... As you can see on the map, the little red dot on the map is signifying where we are starting our adventures. This is the fishing town of Faversham. Faversham is a very, very tiny fishing village. It relies pretty much entirely on fishing for its main source of income and even food. Being in the town of Faversham, it's very, very small, and from all sides of the town you can hear the cries from the market vendors near the docks selling their wares. You can hear the crash of the waves against the shores, the smell of sea salt. It's everything that you'd imagine when you think of like a small, quaint little fishing village. And at the edge of the town, on the docks, currently stands a surprisingly short high elf. On either side of this high elf are two personal guards, and just looking at them, you can tell that they're not from around here. Faversham is a very, very small town, and this high elf is decked out in extremely ornate, expensive gear. The guards are in heavy plate armor with these really ornate-looking great swords slung over their shoulders. And this high elf is standing in front of a kind of small crowd of people who have come to hear him talk. And the crowd below him seems almost a little bit agitated, like there's a lot of murmuring and glancing going on. And the high elf's trying to talk over it, and you can just hear him in this weird, very irritating sounding voice. He's just, "Again, let me say there is a reward of 250,000 gold pieces to any individual who can provide information on the whereabouts of the town of Cribshire Pass. Any men, women, able-bodied individuals who are interested in helping can attend a meeting tonight at sundown in the town tavern." At this point, he's like, you can tell that he's really trying to sell it up because people are kind of losing interest and walking away, because he starts getting really extravagant with this. His hands are flying in the air and little bursts of sparkles and sparks are coming off of his hands as he's talking about this. And he starts trying to get the crowd going a little bit. He's like, "Do your part, help your fellow man, go on daring adventures and come home to riches and glory." And honestly, the crowd seems really just unimpressed by this. And so the area that you all have found yourself located in, or around, is on one side there are these long series of docks leading out into the water, and there's little boats pulling in and out of it constantly, just tiny little fishermen trade vessels. The docks are slightly raised off of the main ground, and this is where the high elf and his two kind of intimidating looking guards are standing. And then there's a crowd of maybe 30 or 40 or so people just kind of huddled around here. It seems like actually a good amount of the town has come out to hear whatever this high elf is rambling about. And behind that, there are market stalls where people are selling wares and goods, and leading out into a very open town square area. Where do you guys think that you may be located in this location?
If there's a tavern, I'm either there, trying to start a party, or in the middle of a drinking contest, or I'm fighting somebody with a fish. Like, I'm hitting somebody with a fish.
Are you in the open hitting somebody with this fish?
No, I'm probably in, like, a
Yeah, of course there's a tavern. The
I'm
high elf
probably
did
in the
back to
tavern,
stand
and
up
I
there and start
decided-
talking about a tavern.
Yeah, at this point, I am probably starting the drinking contest.
Alright, so Vola is off in the tavern. Where is everybody else? What are y'all doing right now?
I am probably in the crowd attempting to steal money.
Steal fish.
Oh, this reminds me of Riften and the Skyrim
Oh,
thing.
it's
You know what I'm talking about?
Fish is forever. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, sorry, keep going, keep going.
Currently, yeah, probably in the crowd with this like dude, but like I don't really give a shit. I just to pickpocket some people.
Alright, so if you're going to be pickpocketing somebody, I'm going to need you to roll a sleight of hand check on this, because the individual who you are currently attempting to pickpocket is kind of just, they're not really paying attention to the high elf. Everyone's losing interest. He's obviously been talking about this for a while here.
I thought you were saying like, yeah, okay.
I'm gonna laugh.
There it is! There it is!
One, that's a
Woo!
Alright, okay, so immediately. No, okay, hi. So immediately, the instant that you start reaching towards this guy so that you can put your hand into the satchel on his side so that you can reach in there and grab something, you trip and like headbutt him with your horns as you're trying to reach for this. You just start like bashing him with your horns and stuff, and immediately this guy whirls around. He's like, "Hey, buddy, do you mind?" And there's almost like he's got kind of like angry about this, like, how dare you try to pickpocket this man? And it's probably a little bit racist because he's also an elf, so you're gonna presume that there's a little bit of racism happening here. And he's kind of getting up in your face, and the high elf actually notices this little squabble happening and breaking out in the crowd. And he points over in your direction, and he's like, "You two fine gentlemen are very obviously two able-bodied, rowdy individuals with a lot of energy. Why don't you try to take this opportunity that you're being granted and spend that energy somewhere where it's really going to count and hit the open road?"
No thanks. I'll sit over here. I don't really wanna risk my life. Something I don't give a shit about.
I mean,
No,
you
I'm just
already...
speaking to this person.
Yes, you're speaking to the high elf because the high elf has like the whole square at this point is paying attention to you. You just nearly impaled a man on your horns with your own idiocy, so like everyone is looking. Everyone, even everyone in the party, like even this has kind of caught your attention because the dude who you headbutted is getting a little
I'm
loud.
in the water anyway, so I'm just like peeking out and watching all of this happening.
Like, I just stumbled out.
I'm just like, hello? This?
Of
Yeah,
course.
This is catching a lot of people's attention because that was real, like...
Living land people do? Okay.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna. Okay,
So, the high elf...
I guess I'm gonna say like, I appreciate the offer. I will think about it. I guess. Then just try to like slink away.
So,
Get out of this
while
room.
you're trying to slink away from this situation, the dude who you tried and failed miserably at pickpocketing starts getting like a little bit like affronted about the fact that you like are just trying to walk away from this situation. He's like, "What, are you some kind of coward or something?" And he's like obviously getting very riled up about this. Like he's walking towards you actively as you're trying to walk away.
Don't worry,
And
Tyler.
he has a couple of friends that are like also kind of starting to stir in the crowd, and they're like pushing at each other
We're
and
screwed,
hyping
he has
each other up.
friends.
There's about like 4 or 5 of them that are kind of really hyping each other up at this point. It's just getting increasingly bad looking for you.
Gee, can I help him?
I'm running away.
So I stumble in between them, like so this big like no I came
He
out.
said he
The
wanted to
tavern is very close to the town
I
square.
came out
Everything
here
is.
because I heard the commotion. So I stumble in between you and this elf, and like I'm like you just see this big like 7 foot plus tall figure just like stumble in between the two of you, wearing like a big long blue cloak. You don't see much of her, and she's just like, hey, why can't we all just get along, okay? She pulls out like 2 like huge ass flasks from her cloak and offers one to each of you. Here, drink on it.
Okay, well this is happening again. I'm gonna use that distraction to also just leave and like skedaddle out of that situation.
Okay, so You try to skedaddle out of this situation, but like as I said, the crowd itself is starting to get a little bit rowdy. And as you're trying to slink away, one of the guys who was like kind of hyping up the others before grabs you by the front of the shirt and tosses you back over to the group. Like you already fucked up with this situation. It's kind of a point of no return.
I fix his Zazel with a glare, and I'm like, oh, come on, you're not gonna accept one of my drinks? This is giving you good faith. Come on, man, take my drink.
Now, while you're doing that, the dude who you offered the first drink to stares at it for a second, and then after a minute or two of just kind of weirdly squinting at it, he spits in the drink.
Break the drink. Break it over his head.
And he's like, I don't want any gifts from your kind.
Ooh.
This is actually very triggering for my character. So I throw it at him, and I scream,
Oh my god.
how dare you reject the offering of a servant of Lyra?
Who the fuck is Lyra?
And
Servant of Lyra? Servant of who?
Who the fuck is Lyra? Okay, thank you.
My Patreon.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
He's the guy.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
Alright,
That
so,
explains the drink.
And I pull my axe on my back and smash it into the ground.
now,
And I just look him in the eyes and I'm like, how dare
you want to roll intimidation on this one?
you?
Yo, crit fail coming in.
Please give me another crit.
Damn.
On that topic, I have a
Oh,
question.
I rolled low, so no crit
But
fail.
still,
So,
Just quick, I have a question about crit fails and stuff.
yeah.
Are you using a crit fail for everything, abilities, checks, and everything? It's a crit fail is a crit fail, or is that only in combat? Or like for merit thing, would it have been like, oh, I was a crit fail, or oh, it was a 9?
We're definitely consider it like it's a 9, but we're still very much taking into account that it's technically a crit fail for like interactions and stuff.
Okay.
So, you could tell that this dude seemed a little bit like shaken by the whole giant axe slamming down next to him thing. Pretty much anyone would who is a logical human being, but he's also kind of still thriving off of like his buddies, because his buddies in the background have now kind of also started in after hearing him say that. They've also started in. They're like, yeah, we don't appreciate either of you's kind here, and they're shouting about demons, and like they're really getting into it with the whole racism thing.
Okay, I raised my fist and challenged this guy to fight. I throw a couple test punches out like, hey, by the way, fuck you.
Oh my god, I don't want to be here anymore.
So the whole time that this is happening, the high elf up on the dock is really starting to get a little bit flustered here. Like he's kind of shouting and trying to get peace back in order, but he can tell that he's lost the crowd at this point. Like this isn't at all what he wanted. And
Actually, wait, hold on. I look up to the high elf. Hey, if you arrest these assholes, I'll fight for you in each thing.
I don't know how to break this to you, but I have no legal control over this area. I'm not from here.
How about
And I
this?
just
How
kind of
about
wave my hand and I'm like, ah, fuck you. Hey, you want some?
So, okay. So,
I also, by the way, I offered the high elf a drink.
while this is happening, I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy, and I'm gonna make my voice. It says, well, hold on, actually, wait. Yeah, well, I'm gonna make my voice 3 times as loud as normal, and I'm just gonna say, oh god, I didn't think this through. I'm gonna say, you don't wanna like mess with us to the lengths. I guess I'm gonna make an intimidation check, and I'm gonna make it be very loud in his face.
Roll intimidation, but you're gonna roll with advantage on this one because of the fact that you have the big boomy loud voice happening.
Sweet.
Alright. So,
Can I just fight this guy?
yeah, so at this point, like, both of you have tried your best to be intimidating, but, like, the crowd hype at this point has really just kind of taken over these, like, 5 or 6 guys in the crowd, and, one of them, the one that's closest to you, Vola, just kind of walks up and takes a big old swing at you.
Alright.
Without really putting any thought into this, they're just kind of swinging.
Is he making an attack roll, or is it just start of combat?
Azazel and Vola, you two are going to roll initiative.
Oh, hell yeah.
I got 24.
I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Tyler rolled in that 20. I'm a little on this. That's
Low.
fine. I'll just tank everything.
Okay.
Also, just FYI, Tyler, I'm not going to be killing these people, obviously.
Well, yeah, I'm using non-lethal damage. But, okay, I'm assuming I'm first. I'm assuming 24 is...
Yep, Azazel, you are first in the order.
Okay, so I'm
So,
going to...
let's just specify, all of the enemies are about, at most, like, 10 to 15 feet away from you. They're all relatively close because this was a tightly packed crowd, but you also have to take into account there are a handful of just stragglers who are part of the crowd but they're not, like, in the fight. There's 5 guys all nearby.
Oh, so there's 5 hostiles. But I'm assuming this is
Yeah.
like a sort of like a fight thing, like they're like kind of crowded around.
Yeah, there's like a circle starting to form, but also this guy just kind of took a swing out of nowhere, so the circle hasn't had time to form. There's still, like, civilians nearby.
Okay, and you said that they're 15 to 20 feet away?
Yep.
Okay, so I am going to... What am I gonna do?
Vola, they're only maybe, like, 5 or so feet away from you because you're right in the center.
Okay, yeah, so Vola's 5 feet away
Yep.
from them. Okay, so I'm going to use my rapier, and I'm assuming I sneak attack or sneak attack because...
Tyler, don't kill them!
I'm not gonna kill them using non-lethal damage, which means that they get knocked unconscious.
No, you're still stabbing them!
Okay, I have a rapier, a short sword, and daggers. What do you want me to do?
Punch them!
You're welcome.
One blood.
You punch them!
So I'm gonna do that.
Alright, roll against AC.
No, just keep it in a sheath. Like, sheath it, and then hit them, like, with the blood part.
That's like wait, hold on. Let me actually, I think that I have, hold on. 1 second.
Why did you roll with advantage?
Because I think that I have advantage because, oh no.
Oh yeah, no, if you, I think you can roll advantage.
No, I don't have advantage. I just
Huh.
get sneak attack damage. It was a 7. It was the first roll.
I'm not trying to. This guy's crazy. I like.
I'm not killing anyone.
Okay, you use
I rolled a 7.
the actual blade of the weapon.
True enough.
Like,
Fair enough.
Is that the AC?
I'm not trying to be a murder hobo here. So, like, do you use the blade of the weapon? Yes or no?
No. I'm
Okay.
trying to stab him. I'm still using the normal rapier here, so I'm trying to just like. Well, I mean, he like swung at us, so I'm defending myself. Anyway, I rolled a 7. I'm assuming that doesn't hit.
G?
Oh no.
G? Are you alive?
Hello?
Hello? G's typing something.
Push to talk, push it out.
Oof!
Oh no.
Cool.
What does that mean?
That means that something's
Right? Uh-oh.
I don't know, restart like Discord or something.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay.
You good now?
No, I'm saying that we have... okay.
No, she's the one who's getting fucked.
Yeah, by the way, I'm sorry about that.
Oh.
Alright, so push to talk is just turned off. If I start yelling, it's because I don't have priority anymore, so I can't.
Okay.
just
No,
stop
you
talking.
can, just hit the key.
You can just hit the key.
Is it working?
Mhm.
Well, you see, the reason why push to talk is joking out is because none of my push to talk keys are functioning right now. So, my priority key is not working.
Oh.
That's weird. Anyway.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, so as you like go to take a swing at this guy, but he glances again, like he just kind of looks over at you right as the swing goes to make contact, and he steps back, and now he seems like kind of mad because like he was going for Vola, and you just kind of came up out of nowhere and tried to like straight
I-
tank him.
I motion to Azazel, like, and I'm like, yo, one, what the hell? Don't use a sword, and two, this guy's mine.
So, because of the fact that you came at this guy with a literal stabbing object, he goes from just, like, having his fists up to he reaches towards his belt and he pulls out a dagger, and now he seems, like, kind of angry, and the dudes around him are also getting a little bit riled up by this, and their hands start drifting towards their belts, like they're about to pull something, but they haven't gotten it out yet. Next in the order is the bandit that Vola is standing closest to. So this bandit is just going to, now with the knife in his hand, things have escalated very quickly here. They are going to turn towards Azazel and make a swing towards Azazel with their dagger. We are going to roll.
That does not hit. My AC is 15.
Alright, so this dude swings at you with the knife, and you, like an elegant bastard, just kind of step back a little bit and entirely avoid the knife blow. Like, maybe your shirt gets a little bit nicked up, but other than that, you have successfully evaded this man's blow. And he looks just a little bit pissed about this, but he already has the knife, and him officially, like, making the swing has kind of made the crowd start freaking out a little, because they were just expecting a fist fight here, but now there's knives involved, and the crowd's not about that. So the crowd's kind of starting to back away and disperse, and one of the bandits actually gets grabbed by somebody in the crowd and pulled off, because people don't really want bloodshed to start happening here.
I shout over to the person dragging that bandit away, and I'm like, yeah, thanks for that. I'll try to stop the rest of this.
All right. Next in the order, the main guy is going to take a step back, just trying to get a little bit out of Azazel's personal space bubble, because he has to step in to stab him. And Vola, it is now your turn.
Okay, I am going to crack my knuckle and wail on the leader because he insulted the fuck out of both me and my team.
Alright, so...
The one thing is I don't actually have something set up for melee combat, for fists, so I'm just gonna roll a d20 for that.
What's it called?
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm definitely
that's
guessing
what,
that hits even without my eyes, but what's the damage
that-
usually on unarmed?
Here, I'm looking at it right now.
I think it's a d4, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
No. Unless it's a D4 for a month. If it's just an
D-
unarmed strike, normally it's just 1 bludgeoning damage.
Isn't it plus your strength modifier though?
I didn't play your handbook.
Yeah, it's just one.
Definitely plus strength mod.
Pretty sure.
Really? That's
Yeah,
stupid.
because like everybody else uses weapons, only monks are unarmed, which is why I would take a minute.
Okay, that's stupid because like I'm just trying to stop this fight and do like some damage. I'm not gonna be able to knock anybody out like this.
Yeah.
Shit.
Wait a
one
minute.
second.
Wait a minute.
Wait, can that be a grapple
Oh, yeah.
check instead? Can I make that a grapple check?
Also, as a good just mention from our dear not an elf here, if you could take a quick moment to describe yourselves,
Oh,
so
yes.
that
Okay.
people know exactly what they're seeing here, instead of just vaguely mentioning a tiefling and a half-orc, half-elf.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I'm a purple tiefling, or tiefling, I say tiefling, I don't know her.
Type like.
What's it called? I have, like, I don't know, I got purple, my eyes are, like, totally gold, like, there's no pupils or anything. I have, like, 2 horns, they kind of look like rams. My hair looks like Killmonger's. I have my tail is, like, it's very long, it's, what's it called?
So at this point, Vola has taken off her traveling cloak because she doesn't fight with it on, and you just see underneath there, it's this big hulking figure of like a half orc, but with like vaguely elvish features. So it's like really muscled, but like slim muscle instead of just like bulging like bulky.
So like a lean but beefy queen.
Yes. And she has like really dark scarlet skin, really long hair because she's never cut it, and it's like jet black with like flowers in it because that was like she has like a little trinket that her dad gifted her that's a flower pin that's like enamel, but then when you put it in your hair.
We don't need all your lore, we just need to know what she looks like.
Yeah, I know, I'm just explaining why there's flowers, otherwise it would make no sense.
Gee, can I
Yeah,
burst out of
basically
the crowd?
that,
if you want to do that, you can.
So-
if you're going to be joining the battle, roll initiative. If not,
so
Sandy.
anyway, yeah.
Did we
yeah.
say cantrips and stuff were gonna like take a long time or not?
No, cantrips?
Yeah.
Well, it depends.
Depends on what spell, Andrew. And most
Alright, can I cast dancing lights just to give a spotlight to this fight?
Yes.
Honestly, just go for it.
Geez, since I thought that the unarmed damage was gonna be
How do I cast it?
what, can I swap that to a grapple
Yeah,
check?
it's not like a check. It's just
Poggers.
chip starting.
Yeah. So okay. Quickly, how do you want these lights to look?
It's just one big spotlight on down onto the center of the crowd.
All right.
Wait,
so
hold on.
we in
Yes.
the midst of the daytime scenario, there seems to be almost like a second sun that just opens up above this battle that's happening, and all of a sudden there's this beaming, glowing orb of light that is shining a beam directly down on Vola and this weird, angry man that has stumbled out of the crowd. Azazel is also basked in this golden glow that's being emitted by this, and it really, like, people who are around the edges of this little fight circle are now just kind of like, wow, that's actually kind of cool looking. Like,
The
wow.
best part is I'm a gladiator. Like I'm like a known like pit fighter. So I'm just like, I feel right at home. But anyway, can I
So you
swap?
hit.
Yeah. Can I swap that to a grapple check since I thought I was gonna be able to deal a die of damage instead of 1 damage according to Tyler?
According to the Wizards of the Coast, actually.
Yeah, you can swap that for
Okay.
what do you like? Why are you grappling with this individual? What is your point here?
I am going to stop him from fighting, so I am going to grapple him. I am going to I'm going to wrestle a takedown.
Okay, so if you want to take him down, are you also disarming or are you just kind of grabbing?
No, I'm just taking him to the. I'm just taking him.
Yeah, you take it. You make an athletics check, and it's contested by.
Yeah, it's so.
You don't have to that, go crazy.
So that's the 18. So and since it's athletics, I have +5 to that. So that's gonna be a 23 on him.
Alright, and we are going to roll a lit. Okay, so you successfully just get your arm, like, this guy is still very angry, but you kind of just come up on this guy and bear hug him. And, like, he's trying to do something with the knife, but his arms are now, like, pinned down to his sides. And he just kind of seems like a very angry toddler, almost. Like, he's throwing a hissy fit in your arms. And, so, while all, the crowd is now kind of, like, now that the knife is out of the equation, Azazel, you're still getting some weird eyes from the crowd, but, with their seeming leader, like, restrained now, the other guys seem a little bit shifty, like they're looking at each other, they're obviously trying to suss some stuff out on if it is even worth it to continue doing this, but one of the bandits, who is now next in the order, he takes one look at his buddy, who now is wrapped in the beefy arms of this half-orc, and he kind of takes the opportunity to let out this battle cry, and he unsheathes a dagger from his belt, and he tries to stab Vola. Now that Vola's arms are all full of man.
Alright, let's see. He does not hit. I have
Alright,
an
so,
AC of 16, and so I just catch that dagger on, like, my abs. It just stops. because I have unarmored defense, and that comes from my constitution, so yeah.
alright, so,
That's basically
you
what
grab
happened.
the knife with your just pecs at this point, and,
I
like,
just
the
kinda
sheer
looked over.
shock of what just happened to him backs away. Like, he throws his hands up, he's noping his way out of this situation, and, the guy in your arm is now shouting for the 3 remaining men, just kind of trying to get their attention and be like, guys, come on, we can still win this. Are you really going to let these, like, bastards
Oh my
be
god.
the ones to,
If he's still up
like,
by next
stop
turn,
us?
I'm just gonna headbutt him out because I have fucking like small points on my forehead. I'm just gonna knock him the hell out.
Alright, Basil, we are now on to you.
Okay, so I'm going to. She's
There are 3 men left,
Oh, wait, never mind.
not including the one that is currently in Vola's beefy loving embrace.
That's me.
What am I gonna do? I'm going to, so I guess I'm going to, you said there's one, there's one with the, like, weapons, there's one with,
No, their hands are all still kind of lingering on their weapons belt, like they're ready to pull out whatever they may have on them, but like, seeing Vola stop a knife with her pecs alone kind of shook all of them,
yeah.
so they're a little weary right now.
My pecs have
I'm
pecs.
gonna shoot my rapier, and I'm gonna say, listen, we don't wanna fight, we can settle this, non-violently,
I glance over. Oh hell, I'm fighting. This guy insulted Lyra.
Okay, well, listen. We can go over any vocal insults later, and perhaps a deal can be struck. But for now, I think maybe violence is the answer.
And the man wrapped in Vola's loving embrace, just kind of scoffs for a second, spits on the ground, like he was trying to spit on Vola's arms or hands, but just couldn't quite reach it, it just went past. And he's like, I'm never going to apologize to a half-breed like this one.
Okay, can is there like guards in this town?
There's like guards, but it seems that this is a relatively common occurrence. Like a couple of the people in the crowd are kind of calling to this dude by name. Like he's you're getting the sense that this guy's known around town for just kind of being a dick. So the guards are just resigned to their fate. Like there's some guards in the distance, but they're literally just watching. Like they're
The
kind of
other
being
thing
useless.
is, if any of these people know who I am, I'm like a person who fights in fighting rings, so they're probably cheering me on too.
Yeah, so
I mean, Famersham's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so they're out of the loop on most
No,
everything.
but like, I've probably gotten into a couple of bar fights already if I'm here.
That's odd.
I guess I don't. This is literally how it works. Well, not to. I guess I would take a persuasion check. Calm down to like the other three at least.
Yeah, you can definitely try to persuade the other 3. If you're trying to persuade the guy in Vola's arms, you're definitely going with disadvantage on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with that. Listen to the other three. They look your leaders, guys.
Yeah, so roll
I'm gonna just back up.
persuasion. Oh, wow.
Dang.
So after hearing you say that, the other 3 guys kind of look between each other and they're like, they're trying to like keep themselves seem kind of like hype and stuff, but it's just really not working out. And they're like looking between each other, like, you know what? Yeah, they're not even worth our time. Like, God, I don't even know why we bothered messing with these idiots. Like, they're not worth it. So they kind of just walk. They disappear into the rest of the crowd and slink off. And now, this seems like now it's just the guy that's being held by Vola, and he's still kind of squirming around, but it's not working that well for him. And his action to do another strength contest to try to get out of your.
Alright, so I get to make my athletics check. I think I hold him.
So yeah, he's still well in your arms, and even the crowd at this point is kind of just jeering at this dude for being an idiot. Like he's just everyone is just kind of roasting this man. Vola, it's pretty much, there's not even an order anymore. This battle is pretty much over. You can just, what do you want to do?
Okay, so since I've got like 2 really small horns like on each temple, can I just headbutt him and knock him out?
Oh my god.
You can headbutt him, but knocking him out is gonna be a little bit.
Might I make a suggestion? Kind of just like.
Actually, wait, no, I've got a better idea. So I still have him grappled, right?
Yeah, you're still.
How much does he
grappling
weigh?
him.
How much does he weigh?
He's just like an average man. He's like 200-ish pounds.
Okay,
Like,
so
he's got the
am I
muscle, but-
close to a pier? Like, am I close to water?
You're near the docks, but you're still a solid like 30 or so feet away from the docks because the docks are like at the other side. The deeper end of the docks is at the other
Okay,
side.
I carry him
Cat is
over
showing
to
him
the
the
docks
shallows.
and drop him in water.
All right, so you carry this man. You have to walk past the high elf and his 2 guards to do this. And
I
the
wink
high elf
at
is
the
just
high
kind of staring in utter confusion and slight fear as you just walk past him and plonk this guy
Wait,
in the water.
hold on. While I'm passing the high elf, can I stop for a moment, gesture to like the back of my hip, and offer him my flask?
He's gonna look at your hip, realize what you're offering, and just be like, I'm here on official business. If you could put the man down, you plonk him into the water. He's like, that's not quite what I meant, but okay. So, now that you 2 have sorted out everything that just happened there
I
with this
look back to the
strange
crowd and I raise
man.
my hands up like a professional wrestler. Like I do like the raise my hands thing. I look back to the crowd and I'm like, yeah.
Well, like, okay, I have a question. Did we see like Lucas like get like did he like step forward or is it just appeared out of nowhere?
That's up to you, not a elf.
I believe you said I stepped out of the crowd, so yes.
Yes. You
Yeah,
see
so I point to Nelf and I'm like, thanks for the
you're
lights.
in blue paint and seeming red elf, like a big red cone hat, just step out, and you noticed him during the fight, but you had your hands kind of full with other men.
With man beat.
So
I guess I'll say to him like, thanks for all the help. Sarcastically, if that wasn't.
Alright,
Yo, this is so long, man.
Anytime
I was gonna
you
meme it,
get
but I
sad.
really don't want to. And I think we're finally done with this shit, so moving on.
Alright, so while you 3 are all kind of nearby each other, and as you turn to walk away, Azazel, the high elf from before kind of hops down off of the dock that he was standing on, and you now notice that he's like actually a real short little dude. Like, he's very noticeably a high elf, like he has the skin tone, like the silvery blonde hair, but he's like 5'5" at tallest. So like this little high elf is just kind of like running up to you on these little stumpy legs, and he walks over to the area where you are all kind of nearby, and he starts commending you on your bravery. He's like, thank you so much for handling that situation, and with the level of class that you did handle it with, I know this could have ended up a lot more gruesome and bloody, but you really did your part, and you know, this is the exact kind of talent and skills that we are looking for to help out on this nice little adventure that we're hopefully trying to assemble a group to go on.
Hey, pointy
Okay,
ears!
so
Oh God.
So the high elf immediately turns to you in like vaguely offended confusion.
Can you
Mostly just confused though.
tell me everything you know about Crimshire Pass? Especially if there was a magic butterfly within it!
So this high elf is just real confused. Like he just doesn't look like he's understanding anything that happens. You're yelling at a volume that like the guards that are with him are kind of like stepping up, like just to make sure that everything's going good. But
I pat him on the shoulder. I'm like, there, little. Do you want something to drink? Maybe that will calm you down.
No,
I'd
thank
really
you!
prefer if you weren't this condescending. Thank you. Anyhow, Cribshire, all we know about Cribshire right at the moment is that Cribshire just kind of vanished, and that's the whole point of this, is that we're trying to get a group together so we can understand exactly what happened here and hopefully make sure it doesn't happen again. If you're interested in what happened in Cribshire, I definitely welcome you to join the group that's going to be meeting up in the tavern. And just again, so that you all know, there is a very hefty monetary reward for doing this because we just desperately need people.
Okay.
Wait, can I?
So,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Ask him what his name is.
okay, do that, and then I will do money.
Can I point to someone random in the crowd? What I mean by random, it ends up being Nick, Quaz, or Sanic.
Yeah.
We
We may or may not be.
Those guys in.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to introduce myself, but
If you're introducing yourself, then come on over.
okay. So, after hearing him over say that he's offering a high monetary value for doing this, finding Cribshire and all that, I come out of. I was like hiding at the very back of the crowd, and I walk up and I ask, how much exactly is the monetary? How much exactly are you offering?
Okay, so first describe what you look like so we know who just...
Well, that would help. Okay, so, my skin color's blue, obviously, 'cause water genasi. I have flowing white hair, and like blue or a dark blue eye color, and I'm wearing basic.
Eye.
What?
An eye?
Eyes. I had two of them.
Okay, because I was like, wait a minute.
Two
You
eyes.
just happen to be a skeleton, would you?
Okay.
Alright.
And then so yeah, that's basically what I look like. Do you need like clothing too, or?
Are you wearing clothing?
Well, yeah, okay. Yes, I am.
Wait a minute.
Wait, unless you want to be naked, that's also an option, I guess.
Free spirit. Free spirit.
So
You know what? It's valid. That's
I'm
a
wear-
look.
I'm basically wearing clothes that you would like they're kind of raggedy and basically street clothes.
Yeah, just like random. Like,
Adventurer clothes. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motor hobo clothes.
And, so as you approach from the crowd and say this, the high elf actually looks kind of excited that somebody's now finally paying attention to him. And he's like, as I said previously, the reward for this adventure is for whoever or the group who finally actually gets us viable information as to where Cribshire Pass has gone. There is a reward of 250,000
This is
gold
where I want to
pieces.
come in.
Several towns around this area have all worked together to try and solve this mystery, so the reward is
Can I
very
come in at this
large.
point? Screaming, that's a lot of money. Mind you, I am a 1 foot tall pixie, kind of like palish, but not really pale skin. Wearing, your average pixie clothes. I don't know, cause I got like armor on, but it's little armor. I'm riding a cat that I was chasing around earlier, and I got
you're riding a cat?
Why not? I can't. I walk really slowly, so this is faster.
Just
And-
hobble over there? Okay.
So when you Kyle is actually actively looking around for whoever said this, and genuinely doesn't see you for a while because he's gotten used to looking up, because everyone here is pretty much taller than him, so he's gotten used to looking up for where everyone is. But after hearing your voice, he scans the crowd and he's like, yes, that is a large amount of money, and he seems very confused. He just can't find where this voice came from. But he's just kind of rolling with it. He's like, anyone welcome
Can I
to
tap him on the shoulder and point down at Beetleberry?
So the high elf looks down and just kind of goes, oh, all right. This is not what I was expecting, but all individuals are.
Yo, you
welcome to
insulting
join
me,
this.
shorty?
Thank
You insulting me, shorty?
Competition.
Ow, fuck.
Tinkerbell! Hey, Tinkerbell! Tinkerbell! Chill out, Tinkerbell!
Short will not judge you.
Listen, if she gets the job done, then it doesn't matter.
as long as you can get the job done here, I am more than willing to put aside any differences in appearance. I am the last person to judge anyone for height, I believe.
Yo! Thanks for the subscription, my dude! Woo! Thanks, my boy, Trash J. Thanks, man. It means a lot for the tier 1 sub.
Actual self, so all I can do is just sit and watch.
Whew,
Alright,
that was
well,
loud.
with the current group assembled as they are, from a little like shack that's set up on the docks, it's typically used for like keeping track of fishing supplies and whatever else, whatever boats are coming in and out of the harbor. There comes another elf, and they run up to the first high elf side and begin mumbling to them in like quiet voices, and their high elf smile turns a little bit strange for a quick moment, and he looks out on the kind of assembled now and is like, well, if you are feeling particularly brave and want to get a bit of an early start on this adventure, you can come over here with me
Monka.
and just...
Hold on.
Gee, you're cutting out.
You're cutting out.
Gee, you're cutting out.
Right. Hi. Hello, please no.
Okay,
So
now we
the
can hear you.
last thing we
Okay, there
heard
we
was
go.
you can come over here.
Come over here with me to the place where the elf just came from, and he's like, this really shouldn't be heard by just general ears for those who aren't in the know about this.
What?
I just kind of shrug and I'm like, I'm kind of new to being like a priest, but I feel like this is something I should help with, so sure. I pick my axe up out of the ground where it's probably still like laying down, like, or like stuck in the wood. I kind of just shove it back onto my back and I'm like, lead the way, man.
Like, that's some property damage that someone else is going to have to fix now. Good, thanks, great.
I
So
apologize.
anybody who wants to follow, please feel free. And he walks
Yeah.
off over to the office.
Okay.
Alright, I'll follow him.
I finally get out of the water and fall quietly, like hide myself among the small corners and just like follow them quietly.
Alright, sharp ears. I mean, sorry. Alright, sharp ears. I'm ready to follow you on this adventure
Yeah,
to
what
Cripshire
Weird
Pass.
said. It's like Santa. I like Santa.
Alright. So, once all of you are assembled in and or around this little docking office, the elf kind of turns back to the group again, and he kind of shoos his guards off to the side. And he's like, I really want to thank you again for solving that
You're
situation
welcome.
and for offering to help us here with this little predicament that we've been having. My name is Fenian. I was sent by representatives in the nearby town of Padstow, actually, to assist in the searching for the lost town. The meeting in the tavern tonight is actually meant so that we can lend a hand to 3 mages. They're being sent by towns all around the country at this point because the urgency of the situation is becoming more and more dire with every passing day. These 3 mages have all come from different towns around the country, and they are supposed to be meeting up with some assistant in the town, which will be you individuals.
But aren't we multiple
and
people?
they will escort them. Yeah, you will be escorting them through whatever they need to do on this search.
Question. What, why do we have to protect
This
them?
would usually be
Aren't they powerful mages?
these mages, while they are powerful mages, we have decided that they shouldn't have to really worry about outside attack or anything because they should just be 100% dedicating their time and focus to solving the issue of the disappearance. We don't want to have them dealing with trivial matters along the way.
I kind of pipe up and I say, well, if it's 250,000 gold to find any information, I feel like we should also get paid to do this babysitting job, which we're clearly being asked to do. Maybe some kind of payment, like upfront payment.
And upon this, the high elf Fenian kind of sighs a little bit, and he's like, yes, of course, you will be, of course, compensated. Bring these mages back to the town. They really should only be a league or two outside of the town at this point. They started their travels from...
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
You're breaking up.
Yeah.
A day or so ago. So they should... Discord, please. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
just can you repeat that last sentence?
Yeah.
Yes, now we're good. Yeah, just
Alright.
repeat more.
So the group should only be about a league or so outside of the town at this point because they left about a day or so ago from their original location. If you would be amenable to it, it would be greatly appreciated if you could go and meet them. They shouldn't require an escort. It shouldn't be too difficult of a task, but we just want them to feel like they are coming somewhere where they are welcomed and offer a bit of hospitality for while they're here by having you 5 individuals go and meet.
Wait, quick question. What time is it?
It's in universe. It's about like 3-4 o'clock. It's about like midday.
Okay.
Okay.
Neat.
So,
So Dishrosa, has anyone noticed you yet? Like
nope.
you still?
Can
I'm actually just hiding in the corner and like listening into what's going on here.
All right, cool. Just making sure.
All right, I'm here. I'm there.
Okay, I guess, I asked.
I mean, like, Sanic, people don't hate lizard folk that much. You'll be a shock to see.
No,
but,
trust.
like-
it's part of my backstory.
Oh, okay.
I'm just curious.
Alright,
What
fair
type, would we need passive perception to notice?
Is
I
it
would
is
be
it
passive.
or
I
is
just
it-
don't know what we would need. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be passive, but I mean, I feel like it's also like.
I mean, if you want to try and notice the fact that there is now a 6th addition to this small little group, you can definitely, if you want, roll perception.
I got
make
this.
the,
I
I'll
got
make
this.
the attempt, I guess.
I have +4. Okay. Well, no, but I have. Numbers are
Wait.
hard.
Why did you roll?
'cause I'm
advantage,
too lazy to
Nick?
change
Oh,
it.
right. Because you want to spite me, so you didn't turn off the advantage.
Yeah.
Literally, Nick chose not to turn off the advantage thing to spite me when I tried to explain why we should do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyhow, so with that roll, Lilac, as you have been chilling with your cat friend, you kind of get the sense that somebody else is, like, in the room, and you start looking around. It's almost like that sense that you get when you're being watched. So you look
I'm
around
in
and
danger.
you notice from off in the corner an additional pair of eyes that wasn't with you before, staring over at the high elf that is
Hello,
making
creepy
this
eyes.
speech.
Oh heck.
I guess that.
I kind of just turn in the direction that she's shouting at, and I'm like, oh.
Ankle biter! What are you looking at?
I just look in the corner.
This is gonna get so old.
God.
Gonna.
So yeah.
Fenian, the high elf, also looks over and, Dishrosa, why don't you describe yourself to the group that is now staring, like, unanimously at you?
I've been crouching this entire time and had a hood on top of my face to cover up my giant snout and hair because I am with scales and have been trying to hide it because I'm not good with the sun. And yet somehow, some way, a bunch of people just spotted me when I'm trying to listen as to what could be helpful for my cause, and yet here we are.
Alright, so Fenian, the high elf, also glances over in the corner at this shrouded figure, and he seems a little bit thrown off at first that he didn't notice that someone else had entered his space, but he quickly kind of shrugs it off and he's like, well, welcome to the group. Are you also interested in helping out with this endeavor?
Yes, I have interested. My
Alright,
question
well...
is, will this be providing any information about? Will it be providing us information about not only these people, but of other of our inquiries as well? Like, is it just money that you're going to be offering us here? Like, I need a little more than that.
Yes, fairy folk. I need some information too about this disappearance of this place because I need to find it for my butterfly.
Ooh, I like butterflies.
The high elf.
Elves
I'm a
descended from
fairy.
fairies, so that...
No, I thought you were talking to, what's it called? I thought you were
No,
Sanding.
no.
I was like...
No.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Listen,
so-
rude.
The Fenian just still seems a little bit confused by your antics, Nox, but he's just kind of like, yes, of course. The whole reason that you are accompanying these mages is because they have been sent to try and figure out exactly what happened here. By accompanying them, you will also be tasked with helping them in their investigations and hopefully figuring out exactly what happened here. And if you successfully manage to assist them, they have agreed to give their services to the cause for free, meaning the money is entirely yours if you are the one who assists them in finding this information.
Wait, okay, I have a question, and I'm asking this, like, in universe.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess not that, I guess I'm asking you. So, we're being asked to go find these people and then bring them to this town, Sabersham, or Shem, or whatever it's called.
Faversham.
Yeah, and then, like, so, and then...
For reference, I'm just gonna pop the name of this location.
Okay,
Oh,
favor.
Saber. So, like, we're just being asked to, like, go get them, and they're, like, kind of, like, a ways out of
Go-
town and bring them to this town, or are we, like, our entire adventure
You
is gonna
are
be, like, bodyguards?
essentially being asked to
It's an escort mission.
escort them into the town, and then the mages themselves will detail exactly what it is that you are needed to do for them.
It's an escort mission.
So it's not like that this entire campaign, right?
Oh, I mean, I don't believe so. They're just mages.
It could be. We could kidnap them.
Are their names Lot and Armor?
We need a bag of holding.
Out of character. My character doesn't know what plot armor is. That's too many words. Or too many letters. Too many letters.
I mean, they could be plot armor if played
Okay,
correctly.
let's play it incorrectly. Let's do it. Alright, everybody.
Yeah, Kitty gets the show on the road. I have things to do.
Wow, Tyler.
Alright, so...
Azazel.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Oh, no, I thought you were saying that out of character.
No.
That's why you need to develop a voice.
So,
Yeah, can we wrap with this?
I was like-
I have so much work.
So, I just got, so like, yeah, after Azazel says that, I'm like, yes, let's go help some people. In the name of the
I
god!
like roads.
I mean,
Sign, roll.
Fenian seems like kind of... He's gung-ho if, yeah, that's what it's gonna take for you to help him out on this, because it's obvious he's very invested in this. He's all right there with you. He's like, yeah, let's do it for your gods. I'm sure they will smile upon you if you just complete this task, my friend. And,
I mean-
he...
And then I'm just like, nah, Leo more smiles on us when parties. But I think I'm still supposed to
That
do
was
this
a
as
perfect
priest,
break
so.
in mic.
You know what? As long as you are happy and your gods are happy, you will be doing a great service for this land. Jesus Christ.
You gotta be subtle, man.
Wait, what's this guy's name? The high elf?
I keep forgetting.
Fenian.
Fenian. Okay.
Finian, okay. I'm gonna ask him, I'm gonna say, why are you so invested in this town's disappearance? Do you have some sort of personal business there, or what's the deal?
I think it's more just the fact that a lot of people have vanished, dude.
He's
Yeah, but I mean, like, it does seem weird, like, this random person for this random town, like, I would assume that
battle spawn!
He kind of looks around. I so wish I had priority. You would be so deleted quickly.
Battle spawn! It does not matter why this man knows about this town. It only matters that we get gold.
Yeah!
No, I'm totally.
Let's go, Santa! I love yelling!
So Fenian just kind of shakes his head at this whole antics, and he's like, oh, it's very simple. The town of Padstow is rather invested in the state of Cribshire because
Yes, please.
Padstow, the town where I am actually on the head council of, is in an alliance and has a trade deal with Cribshire, and the lack of them has actually made trading and just generally surviving and thriving in our town very, very difficult. And secondly, we want to make sure that in case this isn't a singular event, that we don't have to worry about potentially having this happen to us because we were so nearby to them.
And bring glory to ourselves!
Fenian just kind of smiles, nods politely.
I
and
like
says,
this
yes,
man.
Sure.
You
I
should
agree
follow
with this
Santa
man.
wherever he goes.
Alright.
I am interested
So,
in this man. He is funny.
Fenian is like,
So,
Fenian steps out from, like, kind of moves the crowd out of the way with his high elf finesse, and he makes his way out of the docking office, gestures for his guards to begin following him again, and is like, if you could follow me to the gates, and we will usher you off so that you can continue just straight down the road. It's the only road there is between these two towns for miles and miles. So just continue following this straight road, and you should bump into the caravan within only maybe a couple of minutes or so, and shouldn't be that far off at all, honestly.
Well, this is a motley. Oh wait, sorry, done.
And
Or your volume.
Oh, I gotta raise your
you
volume.
are all led to the front gates, and Fenian just kind of looks around and is like, if there's anything else that you would like to do before you leave, I'm sure that you can spare a couple of minutes, but
Yes.
it would be best if you hit the road.
Wait, one second. While Fenian leaves, can I just say
Well,
something real
before-
quick? Well,
before
like,
he
he
leaves,
leaves, it
can
doesn't
I ask
matter.
him a
It's just
question?
taking the time that.
You,
Okay,
Yeah,
go
he's
for it.
still standing there. He hasn't left.
Shorty, can you take care of this cat? I found him.
Fenian just kind of stares at the cat and again gets this vaguely strained smile. Like he's smiling, but he doesn't really want to be. And he's like,
I can take care of the cat.
sure,
Why not bring
yes.
the cat with us?
And he gestures for one of the guards, and the guard kind of stares at him in confusion for a moment, and he just kind of glares at the guard, like gesturing more dramatically with a bit of emphasis. And the guard shuffles over and picks up the cat in his arms and is just holding it very confused in his very armored arms. It's like, the cat will be safely here when you return,
Okay,
I
take
assure
care
you
of him.
that.
I think he has rabies.
And the guard now holds the cat at arm's length.
Hello, DM.
okay.
Ask, what's in this town? Like, are there stores? Are there shops? Like,
There is a small market that seems to sell just mostly like food and essentials, but there does seem to be I'm probably glitching
No,
out
you're
at
fine,
the
you're fine,
moment.
you're fine, you're
Hello,
fine, you're
voice?
fine.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Great, wow. Because my audio spiked wildly on my end. But there is the market stalls that mostly seem to sell essentials. However, there is also what seems to be a small blacksmith shop on the corner closest to the water. And there is a tavern, an inn connected to the back of the tavern, and then just mostly houses. It isn't really a large area of commerce. It's very much a small, just village of individuals.
So we're just getting. So just to confirm, out of character, we're just getting the wizards and bringing them back here for the night, and then we're bringing them to the next place. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Because I was figuring out whether or not I need to go back to the tavern and pick up my stuff that I'm staying at.
No, you're just
Yeah.
going to go.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I have nothing
Okay.
else to do.
Okay.
Right.
So
I'm
before
ready
we
to go.
leave, like Vola checks like the flask, like she has at her hip, like wiggles it slightly, like brings her ear to her, and she's like, "Yeah, I have enough."
Yeah, I'm all set.
She looks over at Lilac and like crouches down and holds out a hand. And it's like, "You want to ride on my
Hell yeah!
shoulder?" So you hop onto my hand, and I bring you up to my shoulder.
All right.
Party
So-
members! Oh, sorry. Dude, can I just want to...
You can.
Okay, just say, we haven't properly introduced ourselves yet.
Yeah,
so
no,
I just
yeah.
wanted to do that.
Just, I was going to actually say, take this opportunity because you're like, Fenian, once he walks away, you're just kind of walking for a healthy,
Yeah.
quick chunk.
Mhm.
So you have some time to introduce yourselves.
So we have quite this motley crew here, don't we? My accent's about changed. I don't remember what the old one was. Anyway, I
You
say...
have an accent. You just.
I never knew humans could, half-orcs could have such different accents.
You mean gnomes?
No.
That's
I'm
it.
Gnotic enough! I'm Gnotic enough! I'm Gnotic! Gnuman! I'm a gnome! And my name is Gnotic enough. Anyway, let me introduce myself. I am Gnotic enough. I am searching for this place
There we go.
to find the man who sold me this enchanted butterfly jar. I present the jar. I say this in the third person for some reason. Anyway, what are you, gentlemen, gentle ladies, gentle others here for? Besides money, and rich, and glory, and fame?
I'm kind of just here for money. Also, I have really nothing better to do, so.
What's your name, young strapping lad?
He's young?
How old
I'm
am
just
I,
assuming.
actually?
Yeah, you never said how old you looked. I am 200.
24.
Oh, fuck, he has me on age.
Alright, you are a young strapping lad.
My name's Azazel. I kind of just roam around, and I mean,
I attempt to bear hug as Azazel.
I'm keeping my arms distant. And don't
Can I roll a strength check?
No. You're not having a strength contest.
G.
You know what? We're going for this. You're now in a strength contest. Zazel,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
trying to keep Not at arm's length, and Not is very determinedly trying to hug you.
I'm trying to like hold him up by his head, has in his arms.
Oh, that's a save. Oops.
Especially because
Okay.
he's significantly smaller than you, so...
Yeah.
Well, it should be the same. It'll be the same thing as in athletics,
Well, because
unless he has
Wait.
proficiency in
I'm
athletics.
sorry, I'm still, I have -1 in athletics, so, is that one I use?
I think it's just a strength. We're just.
Just
Oh no,
use
sorry, I
strength.
have 2 in athletics. Is it that?
Yeah, so it's the same thing. It's the same roll. Don't worry.
We're just using strength. We're not using.
So, is that roll fine? The strength
Yeah.
save?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be...
Yeah, it's fine.
Zazel,
Same thing. 'Cause, yeah.
Alright, so Not... It just gets you in a real nice hug, and like, as much as you want to deny it, you kind of like it, because it's very warm. Like, not the kind of a good hugger.
Aww.
That is not comforting. That's unsettling.
Okay, you're kind of unsettled by his gnomish warmth, but I mean, he's hugging you, so that happened. The hug has occurred.
With both of my hands as well as my tail, kind of just like.
Alright, so you successfully peel him off of you, and you're continuing down this path. You've been walking... You've been walking for maybe 5 minutes now. The town is still in sight, and everything seems pretty normal. Y'all can continue talking,
Alright.
Cool.
introducing yourselves.
So I guess I'll go next.
Thanks, watch.
I am Vola Wraithran. I am a recent initiate to the Church of Lyra, goddess of festivities and joy. It's my job to go around and make people happy. Unless they're assholes, then I have to teach them that they're not being good people. At least that's what I think I have to do.
Welcome to AA! No, I'm kidding,
And then, so yeah, I offer everybody my flask. I'm like, hey, by the way, anybody want a drink?
I do.
Seeing
Maybe.
as it's like the middle of the afternoon, I'm also.
Give
No,
me,
thank
give
you!
me. Up here.
I pull out like one of the like spoons that I keep on hand. I pour a small bit on and I offer
Alright.
it to you.
I'm gonna go next because I'm drinking alcohol now apparently. All right, everybody. I am Lilac Beetleberry. Of course, y'all can call me by my nickname. Some people call me Lil Berry. I don't know. They seem to like that. Yeah, I'm just here to have a good time, meet some new friends, meet some new animal friends. Those are cool. I really just like wanted to get away from home because my home was called Bad Kitty, and I thought the kitty was good. So.
I'm sorry, what now?
And you, who are you, Merker?
I am not a merker, thank you very much. I am Drosha. I hail from the Great Bulgarius swamp. Yes, seemingly the only lizard folk in this area by the looks of it. I've been searching for others for the past 5 years, and unfortunately I don't seem to have made any progress. However, this new quest seems to be helpful for my cause. Unless you happen to know any by any chance?
Nah, I can't say I've ever met a lizard folk.
Can't say.
I haven't even met any other orcs.
I
so
met
half
an
of
old
them
one
I
50
left to try.
years ago.
Just as a bit of context, the world that you are all in is unexplored. There are whole stretches of land, mostly to the north. Most of the known cities and towns are all in the southern half of the country. The cutoff line is about actually where we are at Faversham going down. That's where most of the cities and towns are. The northern half of the country, as well as many of the islands, are entirely unexplored. So
I shall
We're
bring
going
the
south,
joy of Lyra to all.
yes, we are
I
going
met a
south.
lizard man
Okay,
once.
right.
Okay. Could you give us a visual on that?
Where the path you are walking on now is a very, you can still hear the roar of the waves coming from behind you because the whole of Faversham is in a harbor. So you're pretty much following the sound of the waves. On your left, there is a large expanse of wilds and forests, just trees and the general etc. that you would find. In the distance, you can see the first peaks of the Rockden Hills, which is the mountain range far on the west of the map. You can see the distant peaks of the mountain, but there's pretty much just the ocean off to your right, and then on your left there's woods.
Wait, so are we on the road at this point? Have we left?
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
We are very much
Okay.
on
You
the
have
road.
left. You are currently walking, and as
The only
everyone-
person who hasn't introduced
Introduce
himself, by the way, is Quaz. So
Yeah.
Quaz,
Yes.
introduce yourself.
Yes, I will.
Blue.
Well, let's see here. I just need the money. I grew up. Well, see, I was raised in a cult, and well, that cult didn't do so well.
Do you want a hug?
You
No,
you seem to very like hugs.
Kinda. Has the market
I
decreased recently? You know, not very good margins.
well, you see, me being born was kind of the downfall of the cult. So
That's gotta be rough.
So you're like a bastard!
Wait. Did your cult die because you gave birth?
Wait,
are you calling me a
Wait. So was your
bastard?
cult just your mom?
That's what you
you're
are!
the last of your own people as well?
Wait, what race are you?
He's a blue man.
Yeah,
Genasi?
Oh. Wait.
I am a blue man.
You're
Yes.
blaster You're a blaster! A blue bastard!
Very obviously comparing.
Oh my god.
So
I
there
just
are-
audibly sighed.
I believe I've seen one of you in my travels.
I'm gonna ask. So why was your birth kind of?
You can't just ask someone their personal information. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
Well,
never know.
I ask it.
Note, y'all are heading kind of in this direction.
Woo, downward.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, do you really need to know?
I mean, I can make some assumptions, but not really. I don't need to know.
Well,
As
you
long
can
as it
go
won't
and
be-
make those assumptions then.
As long as it won't be a detriment to.
Hey, you know what
my
they
life.
say? Assuming makes an ass out of you and me. But I like asses, so we're good.
Alright,
I can't spell!
while you guys have been having this conversation, I'm going to have everybody roll a quick perception.
Oh boy.
okay.
Burgers.
Perception.
Should have known something was coming when last time you said everything seems fine.
Yeah.
I was like, who's gonna pick up on the fact that everything is about to go terribly wrong?
Oh, okay.
No, I knew. I decided to respect your deep dive.
Alright, so, Vola, Lazuli, and Destroza, you all start getting this kind of odd, foreboding feeling. Like, you can sense that the air is slightly changed, and it feels very, almost like the weird crackling in the air that comes before a storm.
I got
Like, there's
I got
just-
skill bumps.
Yeah, there's just a very odd sensation coming this direction, and lastly, you in particular recognize this sensation to be like the runoff of a high amount of magic. Like, you just recognize the fact that this strange feeling that you are getting is coming from a large quantity of magic being discharged in an area, and you're
Right.
starting to sense the runoff of this. So that just starts, and it's not really strong enough for it to be like overwhelming, but it's just something that you're very distinctly noticing as you're continuing along this path.
Wait, so it
Okay.
feels like a storm is coming for them, right?
Right.
Yeah, the people who have noticed it.
What a lovely day it is!
I agree, Santa.
Hold up a second.
Not a storm. Wait, a physical weather storm, like thunder.
No, you know, like the sensation that comes before a
It's
storm.
very calm
Yeah,
out
like,
today.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold up
Holding.
a second. How far did? Oh God, what was his name? How
Fenian.
far did Fenian say we had to go? before
A
we
few
saw
minutes.
the,
He said not too far.
wizards?
Yeah, Fenian said that you'd only need to go about a mile or two outside of the town, and
So-
you're about a mile and a half off with the way that you've been walking.
I kind of just nervously pull my axe from my
Oh, don't hit
back,
me.
and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. No, it's on my
Okay,
back. It's
good.
on my shoulder. I pull it from my back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this doesn't feel right.
I'm willing to
So-
bet.
Before a raid, I don't like that.
I'm willing to bet the wizards are up ahead.
As
getting
you
close.
all continue forward, the roar of the sea that has been coming from behind you is sort of getting quieted because of the fact that the forest is now converging on either side of the path, and it's making it hard to see what's coming up farther ahead in the path. And the closer you get to, like, the farther along the path that you keep walking, the foreboding, like, uncomfortable sensation for those who have noticed it starts getting a little bit more noticeable. It's almost like there's almost like a fight or flight response that is kicking in for some reason, and you can't see any visible reason as to why this
But
is.
what if
but the
I have
sense of
dark
foreboding is
vision?
getting stronger.
Can I make an investigation check?
Yeah.
You may, if you would like.
But what if I have dark vision?
I have dark vision too. That's 20.
Oh, well, that's
Okay, that
It's
works.
not. You can't not
Okay.
see because it's dark. You
It's
just
not
can't
there,
see
okay.
because it's.
I mean, I'm also
There's a
not
lot
aware
of
that this
stuff
is going on. I was just curious.
But what can
Sorry.
I?
Yeah.
20.
With what you can see from where you are, because your investigation has definitely made it so you're picking up on the fact that there's a couple other party members that are starting to get a little bit sus. So you picked up on that, and looking around, you can't see anything visibly wrong. There's nothing visibly causing this discomfort. It's just you can tell that the other party members are getting to be discomforted and somewhat disturbed by something.
Can I ask a question to the party real quick? What's got you bugging? What's bugging y'all? Why are you all getting
Yeah,
so
I want
paranoid?
Santa.
It's like I said earlier.
I
It feels like
How do you
about
know these words?
being fun. It feels like we're about to be
Raining?
raiding.
Listen, the
It
wizards
doesn't smell
Raiding.
like rain.
are the
We're
wizards
off
are
to
ahead.
see
like,
the wizards,
the,
the wonderful wizards of where are we?
Because, like, you were saying, like, it feels like the calm of a storm, but more for Vola, the feeling would be
No,
more
no, you
associated
don't
with,
need to.
like,
I think
right
we all
before
get
a
it.
fight,
I was just
so.
making fun of you.
For
No,
Joshua
I was just
before, so
clarifying.
like a proper storm.
I said
No,
raid.
I was the one who asked, and I was just joking.
Alright, so,
I like making fun of you.
Oh.
It's all good.
Well, I mean, this kind
Well,
of.
see, I can go.
Well, I'll say, I guess like this sort of like weird sense that we're getting. I guess I'm gonna I'm gonna kind of scout ahead maybe, and I'm gonna stealth this, right? So I'm gonna but kind of just like go further ahead and see if I see anything else or like.
okay, so you're acting as scout.
Can I join them?
yeah, anyone who wants to go ahead and scout, just
Yeah, I'm
Well,
joining. I'm joining.
honestly, there's nothing that you even need to roll, because as you walk farther down the path and you're crouched and trying to not to be seen, as you turn a corner around a bend in the trees, you see the remains of a caravan. And it's obviously a traveling caravan. And the whole area around this caravan, the caravan itself is just demolished. It's at this point just shreds of wood, tarp. The 2 horses that were drawing the caravan are very visibly dead and bleeding. They're
Oh,
the scene around this area
something
is
like
just
this.
littered with, and like oddly enough, the ground and the trees around the area have burn marks on them, like very visible burn marks along
Fireballs.
the ground and trees. There's crossbow bolts that have been dug into the trees and ground around them, and this whole caravan has obviously just been demolished, like just eviscerated.
yeah.
Well, I know what I'm gonna do, and that is to try and find anything of value in this caravan.
I use my I try to roll a nature check skill and try to see use the surrounding trees to understand what could have caused this trauma.
All right. Just as a note, the rest of the party has at this point approached,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
because
Okay.
like you didn't have to go very far at all to come across this scene. And
Okay.
so while you approach the remains of the caravan and start looking through it, there's really not much to find. It's obvious that whoever was here was traveling rather lightly. There is some wine inside the remains of the caravan.
I take
There's
some of that.
a musical
take
instrument, a flute, but it's bent beyond all repair. Like it's at
Wait,
almost a 90-degree
uh,
angle, and it seems like there's heat that has been affecting
What-
it.
Is
So
it
it's
metal?
slightly melted a little bit as well. It seems to be a very old
Fuck.
part metal, part
Fuck, I'm a druid.
wood.
Never mind, I don't take it.
Well, it's destroyed anyway.
I'm a druid,
Yeah.
so I can't help.
So there's really not much to find. You don't find any cash or anything. And the nature check reveals that this was magic of distinctly fiery origin, and also just sensing the nature around you, something feels wrong, but you can't tell what it is. Something is just very, very wrong about the whole situation.
I
And
just kind of look around and I'm like, if these people were raiding, they're really bad at it. They left all the best stuff.
looking around, as you look
Oh,
around,
this-
actually, all of a sudden you start to hear a sound. And it's like a small groan of almost pain, and it's coming from the area near where the horses have fallen.
Vola's ears
Are
kind of
those the
twitching as she
horses?
hears it.
I feel like we all.
Yeah.
I feel like all.
That's not
I'll
good.
provide backup and
I
come
I
behind
float
you.
behind you.
I'm doing it. I'm drawing my
I'm
Yeah.
sipping some of the wine as I
I'm
walk.
getting my pickles,
So I'm there.
slice them, and dice them out from
Alright.
my
Can I roll?
from my belt.
So
Wait.
upon getting closer to the horses and looking more closely at them, you can tell that these horses actually have been torn apart by teeth marks, from what you can tell. It looks like something has bitten into the throat and flank of these horses and have
So are
taken
there
them
any
down
flanks
that way.
left?
They
And
did a sloppy job.
the more you look, all of a sudden, you come to a realization that there is someone underneath one of the horses, pinned. They are seemingly alive. All you can see is just like a part of an arm and a leg from underneath this horse, and it's obvious that they're trying to get the weight off of them, but they can't.
Alright, I pick the horse up with one hand.
Humanoid, or like, can I tell?
It seems to be, from what you can tell, it seems to be a humanoid.
I pick the
Humanoid?
horse.
Okay.
I
Okay,
pick the
so
horses.
strength check. Well,
Do I need to when my lift weight is
Strength check.
960 pounds?
Yes.
it's a whole ass horse. Please just strength check to pick up the horsey.
Pick up the horsey.
It's a whole ass
athletics.
It's not you.
horse. Lilac, you try to pick up the horse, but your little hands can't really even get underneath like the butt of the horse because you're a foot tall. So that just didn't work for you.
I think I'll pick
however, yeah, you pick up the horse, move it out of the way, and underneath it, you find the prone, battered form of what seems to be a half-elf. He's very, very barely conscious, and he's like, once the horse has been removed, he kind of tries to sit up a little bit, but his injuries don't allow it, and he's talking quietly to himself, mumbling, I have to help them, I have to help them, I have to get out of here, and I have to help them, God,
Can
oh my
anyone
God, I
heal
just
this
have to help
guy?
you."
I'm gonna say.
I can cast Cure
Try
Wounds.
healing. I have a healing
No,
word.
I'm not gonna use a spell slot on this, but
I ain't got nothing.
But yeah, I'd rather not.
Well, okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna
Oh,
attempt,
no.
I'm gonna attempt to talk
Whoops.
to him and say like, can you tell me what happened?
When you approach him, he momentarily flinches away from your hands, and you magic try to flare up in his palms to defend himself, but it flares back out just as quickly. And it's obvious that he is exhausted at this point.
I really think somebody should try to heal this dude.
I don't have healing.
Alright,
Alright, well, this is got a
Maybe.
healing spell. I'll
Do
do
it.
it,
I
never mind.
cast
do you want me to?
healing
I mean, yeah.
healing wound or cure wounds. With actually like meta
I have
games,
cure
it actually
wounds.
works better.
I have healing word.
Wait, are his
Yeah,
are his clothes torn?
A creature
Uh,
look at S.
Wait.
Most of his clothes are his clothes are still mostly intact, but they're
Is-
obviously like.
Is there a rip on?
horrendously
Is there like a
bloodstained.
obvious rip on any of it?
Okay, 1 second. Not that one.
There is a rip
Alright.
on one of his legs that again seems to be.
Okay, I just want to feel
And,
helpful, so I'm gonna
um,
cast mending on that and fix the rip.
Okay.
Alright, I'll cast cure
hole in
cure
his
wounds
pants
on
just
him.
closed right
You
up.
tap
Like,
the LinkedIn, you give this guy stealth, Andrew.
Nothing.
Wait, I think. Okay, yeah. Andrew said he cast cure.
Alright, so as you, I'm not gonna.
It's 5 healing.
It's like outside of, it's outside of combat here. But so as you cast your cure wounds spell on this individual, he starts sitting up and he's like looking at himself, examining his wounds, and finally, upon noticing, like becoming aware of your presence, he looks up and he seems entirely grateful. He's just like, "Thank you so much. We were supposed to be going to the nearby town to help with the disappearance that happened recently, but
Yeah,
we were
supposed to come
overwhelmed.
Yeah, we
You
were.
were supposed to meet with us?
Yeah,
Wait,
we were supposed to
overwhelmed
meet
by
you.
what?
Yeah.
I mean, sorry. Wait, overwhelmed by what?
We were traveling from Padstow, and from the mountains there were these wolves that came down, and they began chasing our caravan, and they followed us for almost 2 days straight. We tried to outrun them, but no matter what we did, it just seemed like these wolves would not leave us. The other two in our group, one of them started becoming very much so affected by this, and last night we tried to stop and let the horses rest for a while because we had been pushing them relentlessly for the past 2 days so that we could try to avoid these wolves and get to the town. But last night when we tried to settle the horses down, the druid in our group, she seemed to lose her mind. She began screaming and ran out of the caravan. There was nothing we could do to stop her. As you hear this, as the mage is talking, I want a few of you, whoever really wants to roll another quick perception check.
I got it.
Wait,
Okay.
just one
Yeah.
or? Okay.
Go for it.
Okay.
That's a good
Alright, so
perception check.
with that level of perception
Oh,
check,
wait, did I
you
roll?
finally notice that upon looking at this caravan, what she seems to have said seems suddenly, you realize that there's something very, very wrong about this caravan, and it has been torn from the inside out. Most of the damage to this caravan was done very visibly from the inside. Like, the wood on the caravan is splintered in the opposite direction, making it so that, like, this damage is very, very evidently done by somebody who was on the inside of the caravan. And
Right.
the half-elf
Mhm.
kind of looks very, very dazed, very, very confused, and he sort of stands up from where he was prone on the ground, and he starts explaining, I tried to stay and fight. I did whatever I could. We were overwhelmed. Me and the other mage were the only ones who were left after she ran away because the wolves attacked very shortly after, and we tried our best to stay and fight, but the warlock was overwhelmed and he was grabbed and dragged away no matter what. I heard him screaming. God, I'll never stop hearing his screams. And I tried to get on one of the horses. I tried to get on the horse so that I could run and hopefully try to get back to the druid and figure out what had happened to her, but she was gone, and while I was trying to unhook the horse, I was also attacked, and the horse was killed, and now here I am. We have to go get her. She was very, very valuable, and now that we have lost multiple of now that we lost the warlock, we have to get her. She is one of the only people who can potentially solve this issue.
Where's she at?
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically I noticed the fact that she's just BSing.
Yeah,
No, you notice the fact that he must be telling the truth, because, like, this caravan, the damage wasn't done by any outside force attacking the
Okay,
caravan. This was
right.
done by the druid, as he said, carrying her way out of the caravan.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I sort of made that check though. Can I make a statement on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a 14.
She's, as far as you can tell, he is telling the truth. He seems very, very visibly distressed. It's obvious that even though he is still very visibly exhausted and tired from this whole situation, he's still covered in blood. He just wants to go and find this co-worker of his so that they can try to solve this issue. And while he seems a little bit shell-shocked, and from looking at him, he seems a little bit overwhelmed, and listening to him may be sketchy just because of the fact that, like, he's kind of out of it, but he's obviously telling the truth and he believes what he's saying.
Steel yourself, sir! What is your name? I am Ganata Ganelf. This here is Lil Berry, Azazel, Vola, Rasuli, and Roxa.
Quigley, I will give you actual money if you change your character voice to the
Do it, just do it!
I'm
Please.
sorry.
I will give you actual
Every
money
time you
to
speak,
stop.
I have to mute some voice.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Every time you speak, I want to die.
Well, that's kind of the point.
Are you
You know
sure
what?
that-
I can respect the
Yo,
dedication
Elfie boy, what's
here.
he look like?
I'm gonna ask him to say, like, are you sure they were wolves?
Devil Spawn, wait, let him answer the question. What is your name, young man?
The half-elf looks over and he's like, my name is Cyanth. I was sent by the Sorcerers Guild in Mute Harbor to try and solve this issue. I'm affiliated with the
That's
guild
such a
there.
pretty color.
For
I want that color.
Okay, well.
I see.
So I
Oh, not cyan. Okay. I still
No,
think
not-
it's
not
the
the
color,
color.
fuck it.
Not the color.
I'm a child.
Yes, there's a
Okay,
there's
well,
a
I'm
F
gonna say,
in the name.
Cyan, I have a question. Are you sure they were wolves, just like normal wolves? I don't think wolves would
Wolves
relentlessly
yeah.
stalk you for 2 days straight.
From
No,
what we
no,
could
wolves
see
can't
of
do
them,
that,
they
but
looked
not
like
this
wolves.
vicious.
I want to see these wolves. I like animals.
I mean, I know that that's his unusual behavior for wolves, but as far as I know, that is what we saw, and that was what attacked us, and that is what
Do you know where
killed
these
the other
wolves are?
mage.
Where they went?
Okay,
I want to talk to them.
I was
Right,
stuck
shit.
underneath
Fuck.
this horse. I've been trying to get out from underneath here for almost half an hour now. Again, thank you so much for freeing me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
no
this
problem.
has
Do-
happened.
yeah.
This has just happened. It's very
I
like
see.
the smoke from where these spells had been cast is like the ground is still slightly smoldering from the burn marks.
Okay.
So I ask, do you have any idea of where the druid went?
When she initially ran off, I saw her run into the woods. I'm sure that if we look, there will probably still be tracks. She wasn't exactly being careful when she ran.
Yeah.
What does
Alright,
your
let's
friend
follow
look
them.
like?
I'm gonna make a.
Elfie
Yeah, we'll
boy,
have to follow
what's the
her.
friend look like?
Elfie boy. The half elf that you have come across, Cyan. Now that he's standing, you can tell that he's actually a relatively
he's
tall
tall.
individual, 6 feet or so tall.
Oh, that is quite tall.
Yes, he's
Still
a
wanna
very,
have
very
people
tall
know.
boy.
He's a big boy.
He has a darker tan, olive-ish complexion. But the most interesting part about him is distinctly his hair. It is in a French braid and is extremely long, braided all the way down to about
Is
his
it
tailbone
blue?
or waist area.
Vola very much respects that hair because hers
He
is.
has just gray eyes. He doesn't seem he's not particularly dressed fancily. He's dressed in something that you'd imagine is befitting of his position, considering he was sent
So
by
he's
the
an
guild
NPC.
as
Got it.
an ambassador for this.
Okay.
So he's dressed rather professionally in what you'd assume would be traditional
Covered
sorcerer's
in
garb. Yeah, only they're just
But
very, very bloody.
the pants no longer have
Very
a hole,
bloody.
so we're good.
Yeah, the pants no
Yeah.
longer have a
Well,
hole.
yeah.
You did
Thank
fix
you.
that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a survival check and yes, a humanoid tracks.
What- would that
or
be survival?
Tracks, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
survival for
Yeah, survival is tracking, so.
That's a 16.
So looking around at the woods area or the caravan site, you do in fact spot one area that's kind of heading off into the woods towards away from the shore area and farther into the woods towards the mountains. You do see a path that seems to be mostly just broken branches, and even in one spot you see what seems to be a little bit of blood that has been smeared across the bark of a tree.
Okay. I guess I kind of. Oh, I mean, I turn to the group and I say, "Look, this stuff. Maybe we should kind of."
All right, gang. Let's split up and look for clues.
Party.
Yeah.
That comes into first session. Let's split the party, boys.
Yeah.
Okay! You see, splitting up
Does
might
that
not be
make
the
you
best
silly?
idea. If they have a
God.
large wolf pack after us, that we will fare better if we are great in number
Why would we fight
against
the
them.
wolves, though? Wolves
small
are
chunky man
friends,
is right.
not food.
We're not trying to.
Easy
eat
for
them,
you.
we're trying to.
Okay, that's
Vola
pretty
shrugs. I ate wolves
No
all the time
promises
back
on
home.
my end. I'm
Yeah,
hungry.
I'm ready to fight, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna kind of walk in that direction, sort of continue looking for.
Wait up, devil boy.
Yeah.
For clues or.
I'll follow
I
him.
think
I
we all
follow
follow.
him!
Yeah.
I say that out loud.
As well.
You say out loud, I'm following him. And
You are.
As we start to follow, I kind of walk next to Drosha. I'm like, oh, you eat wolf too?
Yeah.
Wait,
Pretty good.
Also, is this
Yeah, I used to eat it all the time back
Now it's
home.
gonna
Yes, he is. As you begin following down this path of broken twigs and etc. that are leading into the woods, Cyan, the sorcerer, kind of picks himself
Oh,
up
yeah.
off the ground, brushes himself off, and with a glint of almost determination in his eyes,
Okay.
he starts following behind you to try to
On the
figure out
bright
where
side,
the druid
he
has gone.
did get up on his own because we kind of just left him there.
He kind of just walk off, but
He's strong enough to speak. He's strong enough to get up.
feeling that our dearest Nautic elf provided has really helped him out. And while he still seems a little worse for wear, he's standing on his own two.
Standing. Okay.
Is it like I know we're in the woods and I know it's like midday or whatever, but is it dark enough that people without dark vision can't see, or is it still just kind of?
No, it's still it's midday. You can see very, very clearly.
Tyler was just asking if it was like deep
The
woods.
issue here is the fact that there's fucking demon wolves.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was in one.
Yeah, like deep woods get kind of
like,
dim,
the trees
but
cover that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's not. You kind of just came
Okay.
off of the path.
Okay.
So it's still
Okay.
relatively bright. The sun is still shining very clearly through the canopy. This isn't like an extremely thick forest. You can see that it gets thicker the farther into the woods that you go, but the area that you're in right now is relatively just a sparse woodsy area. Now, as you're making your way down this path, Cyanth is just kind of limping along beside you, and as you continue down this path, You
Wait,
start
before we
noticing.
do that, can I
Yeah.
cast cure? What was the spell? Healing word on him, just to like heal him
You
more.
wanna heal him again?
You're gonna
That's a
heal him?
cantrip, right?
What happens when we get the
I mean,
click?
he's not.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it this way. He's not bloodied right now. Like he's not
Oh.
at half. He's just
Okay.
he's worse for wear, but he's not like a foot in the grave. He's
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he's not going to
No.
die, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys brought him back from the grave.
Okay, he'll be fine
He's
then.
fine, don't worry about him.
Spell slot.
yeah. Like his thigh's still a little bit achy because of the fact that it got wolf teeth through it, but he's doing fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
If he's
as
limping
you...
slightly, then I offer the shoulder that Lil isn't sitting
Oh, I'm not
on
sitting
for
on
him
your
to
shoulder
lean
anymore.
on.
I'm flying.
Cyanth kind of looks over at you, stares for a quick moment, and then just goes, no, I'm good. I can stand on my own 2 feet, thank you.
Okay.
But really,
You
thank
say
you.
so.
No, I wasn't offering to carry him. I'm like for support.
Yeah, even still, he seems a little bit prideful about this, and
Okay, fair enough.
kind of turns it down. So,
I was kind of
as
showing. Okay.
you are making your way down this path, and it's not really a path, it's more just broken branches and etc. The farther you follow it, the less you really have to look for a path, and more a path becomes evident to you. You are starting to come across shreds of this druid's clothing, actually. It begins very, very small, like tiny tatters of a sleeve that got caught on a branch, but the farther along you go, it seems like this is very, very intentional. You find a whole tunic just torn
can
off.
I take the tunic? Actually, I can't pick up tunic. Never mind. Ignore me. I can't carry that shit.
You find a tunic torn off. You do, in fact, find a short bow that is on the ground, but all of the arrows are beside it and have been
Can I
snapped.
grab those? Like all of them?
You
Can I like sniff at the tunic and see like where is it, whether it's from like the individuals or?
yeah, go crazy.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's
Wait,
survival, right?
Yeah, just survive. Pretty
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
a lot of this tracking stuff is all just going to be survival rules.
Okay, I'll just
yeah.
roll for
I'm
survival.
gonna just
then.
take that bow
Yeah.
and the arrows.
Let's see. I got 17.
Yeah.
The arrow's broken.
Yes, the arrows have been shattered in half.
Okay.
Okay.
Does anybody have a bow?
Well, there's
I
a
don't.
bow there.
Is anyone
So,
here an archer?
Nope.
No, what I'm saying is like I just wanted to know just in case like people needed.
I want to grab the broken arrows
Yeah.
too,
Why don't-
because
Oh, so you're going... Yeah, that's...
I have
isn't
mending.
it?
So I was just gonna sit there mending.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, you're just gonna... You mend... There's only about, like, 5 or 6 arrows, but you mend up the arrows, and congratulations, you now have a short bow and some
Woo!
arrows.
Except Nick can't really do anything with them because he's tiny.
You can't really do much with it, but you have it now. Congratulations.
Yeah.
How?
So, Desrosa, as you take a nice whiff of this tunic, you get the distinct sense that yes, it is in fact just one individual that is doing this. And the tunic did in fact come off of the druid. The scent is familiar from back at the caravan.
So are lizard folk bloodhounds now?
That's why.
Yes, lizard folk are now bloodhounds.
Okay, so
Listen, the decision was to sniff.
we just continue on the path then.
So
I
if
guess we keep walking, keep a lookout.
as you continue farther down the path, you start coming across animals that have been, like small animals, squirrels, foxes, and just small woodland creatures that are all dead.
Oh.
Their bodies are, necks are snapped, they are bleeding from wounds on their bodies, and if someone would like to check on the state of these bodies, you may.
I'll
Survival?
do it.
That
Again,
would be investigation, right?
yeah, survival investigation, roll whatever you will for this one, honestly.
Okay,
It's very-
I'll roll survival because that's my dominant one.
You got it, Sonic?
Yeah.
Or
Hold up.
Okay, yeah, it is too
There we
bad.
go.
Damn.
I got
Okay.
15.
Perfect. So, you can tell just from your understanding of like the nature and creatures, you recognize that these are in fact wolf bites, but you also recognize that this isn't normal wolf behavior, and that wolves don't usually just kill and not consume their prey. Like, there are, as you continue farther and farther, there are dozens upon dozens of bodies, and none of them even have the slightest, like, sight of being consumed. They're all just dead.
Well,
Seems like whatever did this is just hunting for sport.
That, or they're not hungry at all.
Or they just want to kill things.
You never
The
know.
farther along you
My uncle
go...
used to do that a lot.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. This is in character, FYI.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I assumed that your uncle wasn't just going around killing things. Thank you.
Like, yeah, sometimes he would go into, like, whole village. Just his axe.
Yeah, but your uncle isn't a wolf.
I never understood how people could just hunt for fun, honestly.
I have a random question. I don't know if you'd be able to answer or not, DM. But
Yes, yes.
last night, was it a full moon?
Your voice cut out, sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, well.
Oh.
I said last night, was it a full moon?
No, it was just a normal night.
Oh, okay. Well,
Also, that's not really how werewolves work.
Yeah, it's
I mean, lycanthropy what does.
So you continue following this path of just like shredded clothes and corpses, just corpses everywhere. That sense of foreboding that you were getting before, this is now very noticeable to literally everyone. There's a very distinct sense that something is not correct. And the nature around you seems to start reflecting this sense of foreboding. Like, the plant life around you, as you trek deeper into this forest and closer to the mountains off in not even that far of a distance, as you trek towards this, the plant life around you starts to seem a little bit malformed. Like, branches are growing too clumped together or far too sparse. There are vines thick enough that you can't quite see through them. Something just doesn't seem correct about the area that you're in.
can I make an
I'll make a
Arcana
perception.
check?
You may make an Arcana check.
That's a natural 20,
That's a nat
23.
Holy
Nice.
shit, nat 20. Okay, well, you distinctly recognize that this is of magical origin, but the thing is, it is not any variety of magic you have ever seen. Like, none of the magic that you know of gives off this level of sensation or this sense of foreboding that you are getting from this. The only thing that you can imagine would cause this would be some variety of a charm, and there's no sign of any variety of charm or anything happening. It is of magical origin, but you just don't recognize it at all.
Yeah, this is some crazy ass magic shit.
Can I,
Crazy
well-
ass magic shit, TM.
Wait, I was like, can I cast Arcana as well?
Well, I got a nat 20.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Never mind. I was like,
That's a nat 20.
that
You
won't
don't,
work,
you don't
yeah.
really need to also roll.
Unless you have better intelligence than him and also roll in that 20, nothing is
yeah, that's true.
You
Never
get an
mind. I lied.
even more natural 20.
A 24.
Alright,
What would you do if all of us rolled nat 20s with Arcana?
Dude, when the
I'd just be like, you do an Arcana check, and you are suddenly attuned to the very magic of the universe. The very, very liberating.
yeah, I don't know what this is.
We all know the secrets of life.
Alright,
Alright.
anyway, let's go.
So, there are some, like, weird deformed shrubs along the ground, and some of them seem to be almost, like, clinging on to some shards of clothing from the druid. They're,
Bunch of cool clothes to grow up, Jesus.
yeah, it's like, you're literally finding chunks of clothes at this point. Like, you're not finding, like, a whole tunic, whole set of pants.
Are
These
they
are
like
just shredded
obvious,
little
like
bits of...
shredded by wolves,
clothes.
or just shredded by person?
No, they're just
Okay.
shredded for some reason.
That's.
You can't figure out why, but there's just chunks of clothes. And, so, as you're getting past all of this, like, deformed shrubs, etc., you finally come to an opening in the trees. And this opening has light shining down from above. It's seemingly just a gap in the trees. And in the center of this strange alcove created by the trees is the druid, her back is turned to all of you, and she has stripped herself entirely naked. She doesn't seem to have any wounds on her body or anything, but she is just standing there in the nude, facing away from the group, and she seems to be mumbling to herself a little bit.
And I cannot lie.
She's just mumbling to herself quietly.
She's mumbling. Okay.
And upon seeing this, Cyan, the sorcerer, all of a sudden steps a little bit closer and begins calling Calvary. Calvary, can you hear me? Calvary, I'm so thankful that you're okay. I was so worried about you. And as he's talking, she is not responding at all. She is not even paying attention to the fact that he's there. She is just remaining facing away and talking to herself.
Cavalry, look this way.
Okay,
Come on, Cavalry.
For
perception.
I'm gonna try and I guess it'd be stealth for this, but I'm just gonna try and walk at the edge of the clearing, kind of walk around and see if I can face front and see if I can see you know what I mean, not look right.
Like to establish that Azazel is just a pervert and that's why he's stealthing to see the front side.
Can I?
I'm actually gonna stab.
Can I just throw a rock at her?
Okay, so as you kind of seclude yourself over into the bushes and loop around this individual whose name is apparently Calvary, for the sorcerer is to be trusted.
Can I throw a rock at her?
As you loop around, you see the fact that her head is down and her eyes are closed. And now, quick context, she seems to be a half-elf of some variety, but she's kind of short, so you're kind of getting the hint that it's halfling. Like, she doesn't seem like she's mixed with human. She's just a shorter individual, and fair hair, fair eyes, just a generic-looking individual. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly visibly wrong with her. There's no wounds on her body. She just is standing there, eyes closed, talking to herself.
Please.
I mean, your version of a
It'd
rock
be a
would
pebble.
like a
It
tiny
wouldn't
pebble.
hurt.
It would be a pebble.
I mean, I guess. Well,
Yeah.
If you want to do that, I guess.
Okay, well, so we are going to consider this. Yep, just roll to see if you can hit her with this pebble you are throwing her direction.
Athletics?
Like, it would be,
Attack
Yeah,
roll?
it would just be a generic attack roll.
Wait, it'd be an attack roll?
No, but okay, what size rock are we throwing here? Because if you're literally throwing a pebble, I'm not rolling.
No,
damage
it's
for
a pebble.
It's
I'm
a
1 foot tall.
Yeah, he's 1 foot tall.
Yeah, okay, so we're just going to do a generic athletics because you're about 20 or so feet away from her.
Come on, don't let me down.
Yeah, you're kind of far away
fuck.
from her. Alright, so you throw this pebble and it doesn't even go near her. It lands like 3 feet away from her and she's not disrupted by it at all whatsoever. At this point, Cyan, the sorcerer, is starting to walk closer towards her in the clearing.
It's a tarp!
And he's still trying to talk to her actively, and...
That's a bad idea.
Wait, I was like, young man, I say you go towards her! She probably needs your help in some way!
He kind of turns around like, yeah, thanks, that's about what I thought, sweetie, thank you. And he keeps on walking towards the druid, and as he does, his voice kind of drops a little bit softer, like he's almost like genuinely worried about her. He's like, Calvary, sweetie, are you okay?
By the way, I'm right next to Cyan. I'm walking.
Okay, so you're approaching with him. At this point, you are about 10 feet away from her, obviously within hearing range, and she is still not at all reacting to any of this.
Okay,
She seems to almost, and as you get closer, you realize she's not just talking to herself. There are words, but she's also just sobbing. Like, just sobbing profusely.
Something is wrong.
Can I roll perception?
Why the
You
fuck
may
would you
roll
do that?
perception.
Well, I will do that.
Okay.
18.
Alright, so, yeah, again, she's not visibly hurt. She doesn't seem to have anything wrong with her. There are a few small scratch marks along her legs and arms, but you get the feeling that these are just from stumbling around nude through the woods and bumping into thorn bushes and trees, not anything that would be caused by being attacked by these wolves that Cyan was talking about earlier.
Right.
You don't see any visible reason why she's like this. She just is sobbing.
Wait a second.
I'm gonna go to her and then like take off my cape hood thing, like wrap it around her, just for like decency's sake. Just like sitting in the middle of the woods, like.
Aww, he covered her up.
All right.
Oh no.
I did this also because I know.
I don't like how you have to approach.
So as you approach Calvary, as soon you take off the shawl from around your shoulders, and as soon as she feels the fabric of it touch against her, she suddenly begins screaming. Just screaming at the top of her lungs. No words, no anything. She's just shrieking.
That's loud.
And even after you take it off of her shoulders, she is still just screaming. Her hands have come up to the sides of her head at this point. She's clutching her head and just shrieking to the point where you can hear her voice starting to give out. Like, there's no words to this. She's just screaming.
I concerningly play the kazoo to calm her down.
Your kazoo doesn't do anything. She's not really paying attention to anything that's happening. She's just shrieking. And as she screams, from the woods behind her, you start seeing rustling.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, god damn. See, this is why I should have played the kazoo.
Can I cast out dancing lights and see if there's any reflections from like eyes or something?
I just ready my kazoo out because I know this is what needs to be happening right now.
Dancing lights, and from the brush behind her, near to the ground, you see 4 sets of golden eyes.
Can I cast,
Right.
what is it, Speak with Animals? That seems like a good thing to cast now.
So,
On what? You don't know their animals.
That's fair.
and out from the bushes behind Calvary, where she is still just screaming, but her screams are starting to taper off, as obviously her throat is just shredding itself.
Right.
From the bushes behind her, out steps 4 wolves, and one of them is notably larger than the others, obviously leading the pack.
Great.
You notice the fact that there's something off about these wolves. Like, they're a little bit too big to be normal. Their limbs seem a little bit too long. Like, something just seems incorrect. The longer you stare at them, the more their proportions just don't seem
can
right.
I cast Speak with Animals so I can talk to these fuckers? Yo, what's up, fuckers?
Okay.
Wait, what is Speak with Animals? Is there, like,
yeah.
check that needs to be...
It's a skill, I believe.
Yeah, no, I think. Wait, hold on.
I just put it in chat.
Yeah, I think it's just you have the ability to comprehend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can just
Cool. Okay,
straight up
so
understand them.
you cast that, and the wolves don't seem to. Now, is this a spell that you've cast before in the past on other animals?
Yes.
These wolves do not react like any other animal you have cast this on. Their minds, like the translations that you are getting, or like the inclination you are getting from their thoughts, is just pain, fear, and confusion. There's
Like
no
the Google
actual coherency in their minds at this moment. They are just in a seemingly large amount of pain and very, very scared and confused about their situation, and they don't seem to be fully in control of their actions.
Has the sun set yet, or is close to setting?
The sun, at this point, you have been wandering and dealing with this for about an hour, so the sun has started going down because it's about like 5:30 or so.
Alright, can I
that's
snap my
great.
fingers and start a disco ball with the dancing light?
Yes, you have a disco
Okay,
ball
cool.
now going
Alright,
above
let's go,
the
boys.
open battlefield.
Can I also take out my light hammer from my pack?
I nod to Gnata and Ganelf, and I'm like,
Can I cast Entangle? Because I don't trust.
Or
those
should we roll for
trolls.
initiative
yeah,
already?
you should probably
If you are just going to be going into this battle, then you are roll initiative. Go ahead.
All
But
right,
they're
let's go.
just in
Yeah.
pain!
I don't-
Are you
Where's
on
my
the
thing?
additional
Oh,
roll?
there it is.
Where's initiative?
We are straight out the gate with
Yes.
wow.
Where's
It's
initiative?
it's next to armor class and next to speed. Under your name or under race.
Yeah, we all have to roll.
Yes. Please do.
Quaz, look at your
What?
character sheet, right?
I got.
Do you see what race you are?
Yeah?
Yes.
Then go down.
Middle column where your current hit points are. Little
Look
shield
at stream
thing
if you're having that much trouble.
Alright.
near the top.
It says initiative.
Just.
Oh!
I am just going to
I
take
found
a
the
quick
button.
moment
I
to
got it,
write
I
down
got
the order
it.
of initiative.
Good job.
I got a 2.
Because there's
So this is
several of you, so I kind of actually have to keep track on who is doing things when.
Okay, so yeah, so this thing happened because what's it called?
Yeah, Andrew, I
Right.
nod to
What?
nice football.
You can.
Nice,
Um,
Yeah, I want to cast Entangle, that's why.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I didn't
Do you get advantage with that since it's a surprise attack?
Well, it's not really saw us. I wouldn't say it's like.
I think the fight's
Yeah.
done.
Alright.
Alright, so first in the order is Azazel.
Oh, okay, wait, hold on. I have a question. So wait, does the spell go out? Like, did she do the entangle?
No, not yet.
No,
No.
not yet.
Okay.
Oh, actually, is Azazel hidden? Since, like,
Yeah,
No.
Azazel
He
did
might-
say that he wanted to hide, so yes, he is currently
Well, no,
hidden.
but he came out to put the
oh yeah, he did
book
come
on her.
out.
Oh, yeah.
No, but but
No. Before initiative roll started, he said that he wanted to hide, so.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
That is true, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I don't want to fight them. Like, I didn't do anything. Okay. I guess.
Well, Tyler, you don't know that they're not.
Did I not
They're-
just yell
just-
that?
These wolves, as they step out of the bush, are kind of snarling,
Did I
like
not
they are
just
growling
yell?
below their
They're
breath.
ready to fight by the looks of it.
They're just in pain! How many times do I have to yell this fucking shit?
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to. Probably, I guess, try to attack the big one, the one that's like in the front. That
Alright.
seems like really long
Okay.
and gangly. And that was a natural 20.
Alright, so that distinctly hits. What do you want to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of like stab it, and the damage is a 12 plus a 5, and that's also I also have sneak attack on that, so that's 17, and then
You get sneak attack level 1, really?
oh wait, no, it's a d6, excuse me.
I thought it was 2.
No, level 1 is just 1d6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, so that's 17, 18, that's 19 damage.
Jeez.
Alright, so you come up behind this wolf with your rapier drawn, and you kind of stab it right in the back right flank of its leg, and it sinks in, and this large wolf just lets out this pained yelp and whirls around, and unexpectedly, rather than like even focusing on you, it just kind of bites its own leg for some reason, and it doesn't seem to quite make sense on why it is doing this, but the instant you do that, it just kind of bites its own leg, and it seems a little bit worse for wear after this happened. Like, it's obviously now favoring its other paws.
Okay.
Okay, that is weird.
Next in the order is one of the wolves, actually, and this open area is about, I'd say, 50 feet around. The druid is... The closest individuals to the druid are Vola, Cyanth, and now Azazel. And one of these wolves is going to sprint up from behind Calvary, the druid, and it is going to lunge, jaws open, at Vola.
She like shouts in challenge as it comes towards her.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, so Vola's just shouting, "Come at me, bro," at a dog.
It's sealed, so I catch its jaws like on my forearm, and my forearm just doesn't get bitten. It's just stuck on my forearm.
Alright, so this wolf is snarling and snapping and trying to bite. It like gets its teeth around you, but it doesn't seem to really be able to get like the force behind it to sink in. And after a second or two of trying this, it just slips off your arm and runs back closer towards the druid,
doesn't
almost
that
like it's
provide
trying to protect her.
Since it's running back,
Well, it's not. It's not really. It's taking a step back. It didn't have
okay.
to go far to get to you.
I was gonna ask if I can make an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, no. It's not like going far away from you.
Okay,
It's
okay.
just like right it's just taking a step closer, as if it's trying to put itself in a defensive position between yourself and the druid.
Oh, okay.
Next in the order is
Berry boy? I'm a girl. But it's
Berry girl,
it's
then,
your
damn.
girl, little bit. Anyway, because each turn is like 3 seconds or some shit, right? Or not even.
6 seconds.
Okay.
6 seconds.
How about
Just making sure this
A
doesn't
full
sound like
26
super out of it, because
individual.
I want to respond to
no.
Mr. Azazel and be like, "What the fuck? I told you they're in pain and confused," and I cast Thorn Whip to pull him back. Let's see.
Excuse me?
So there's already infighting. This is great.
Oh boy.
We just met each other. Why are you like
What's
this?
the spell save? Like, how do I...
Yeah. So I think it just has to hit, right? So 1d20
Yeah,
plus
makes it
spell
attack roll.
attack bonus, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, but it's melee. You're not near me. It's not...
No, it has a range
The
of
range is
30
30
feet.
feet, and
It just
the
counts as a
farthest
melee
reaches
attack.
of this are 50, so everything can pretty much hit.
Melee spell attack.
So that plus 4.
Alright, roll.
That might not hit.
Oh, 7 plus...
Yeah, what's your AC?
4 is... wait, hold on, 7... Yeah, no, that doesn't hit.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's against my armor class, right?
Fuck.
Yeah, it's against your AC.
That doesn't
Oh.
hit.
Cool.
You just
so,
see a vine fly
Kinda
towards
like
you.
hide away with my rapier.
Yeah,
What
you...
are you doing?
Yeah, it just kind of goes near you, but harmlessly just is seamlessly avoided. And so next in the order here is actually Calvary the Druid. And
God.
this druid, oddly enough, at this point, she has screamed her voice entirely raw, and she's curled in on herself. Her hands are buried in her hair, and she seems like she is in absolute agony. Her mouth is still open, like she's trying to scream, but there's just nothing left. She's ruined her throat at this point. And all of the sudden, instead of turning towards the fighting, she drops onto her hands and knees and on all fours begins sprinting away. She is running away and into the woods. So she is making
Oh,
an
god
escape.
dang
Can
it. One of
someone
us has to go
technically
after
make
her, don't we?
a
She passed.
opportunity attack against her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
did she pass by me?
Oh, no. She is at this point, there are wolves protecting her.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go through the wolves to get to
Okay,
her.
I just wasn't sure
Oh,
because if
okay.
she's running away from whoever's in the main group.
Yeah,
No. The wolves at this point have officially formed like a protective barrier around her to try to keep others away from her, and she is booking it into the woods faster than you think she should be capable of. Especially for the fact that she's on all fours, she is booking it faster than you think she
What
should
is
be
this,
able
devil
to.
man?
She's leading in the woods. And she kind of just disappears behind a tree after a couple of seconds, and she's just yeeted.
She just yeeted.
Yeah, she's gone. Like she
gone.
took off running into the woods at a kind of ungodly speed. And
She's devil man, oh god.
next up
Well-
is Desheza.
Yeah,
Finally.
Okay.
We
I-
are in
it's-
fact still in initiative because there are still 4 whole ass wolves.
Wow. I cast Entangle.
That's exactly what it is, Nick.
I cast Entangle, does that work?
So Entangled is druid spell. What are the specifics of Entangle? Full sentence thing.
Basically, I can use the weeds and vines that from the ground at a 20-foot square, like from a point within like 90 feet
Yeah.
range.
Okay. So in a 20-foot square area, you can catch the wolf that's already been injured and 2 of the other wolves, but 1 wolf is still going to be able to kind of make their way downtown.
Walking fast.
Faces past, they are homebound.
Alright, yeah, I'll cast it.
Alright, so they have to make a strength
Yeah, or they
saving
be
throw for that
restrained.
one, right?
Yeah.
Cool, great. God, I hate doing saving throws for animals.
Oh, crap, I meant to roll.
You don't have to do anything,
No,
Sam.
you don't have to roll.
Oh, okay, never mind.
You don't have to roll anything. That's all on me. Don't worry.
Alright.
Gucci. All right. And what is the DC that I am rolling against?
Stanek, that's gonna be on your
What is your
character
self-save
sheet.
DC?
on your character
Wait,
sheet.
what?
The if you go to spells, the middle box, it says spell. The middle.
The little one?
It says spell
No, the
save DC
middle.
under it.
Oh, sorry. I keep pressing.
Dog.
If you forgot to select your spell casting, make sure
Yeah,
that you
thanks for
select
the
this.
bits, my boy Steve.
Oh, yeah,
Hell
it's
yeah.
wisdom.
Viewers.
Yeah, sorry. It's wisdom. My spell save DC is 13.
Okay, so I am going to roll for the two wolves are honestly just gonna eat dick at this point. So I'm going to do these three. Wow. So two of the wolves just ate shit. Like just immediately ate shit. All of the wolves, the three wolves that you just tried to entangle, they are struggling now. Like they have gotten all tangled up in the entangling plants that have now sprung up from the earth beneath them, and they seem very distressed by this.
I mean, I would
And,
imagine so. They're tangled up in, like, vines and plants.
They are thrashing around and kind of like yelping and snarling. They seem more confused and scared than anything else. Next in the order is going to be the big ass wolf. The big ass wolf is going to take its action to do a quick old attempt to free itself, and it is still trapped. These wolves are not doing their best.
Oh no, they're not getting out of here that easy.
Yeah, that wasted off that one's turn. Next is another one of the wolves who is also going to use their action to try to get out from the shitty brambles. And that one successfully does loosen itself from the tangle, and it takes the opportunity to get over closer towards its one free comrade, and sidles up to them and kind of seems to almost try to be distancing themselves from the ones that are still trapped, almost understanding that those ones are kind of fucked over at this point. Next in the order is Vola.
Alright, so actually, yeah, isn't it Quaz's? Quaz hasn't gone yet, and he rolled way
Yeah,
higher.
Fox hasn't gone yet.
Oh, then yes, Quaz, apologies.
Okay. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead.
Alright, pop the info of that into merci. Alright. And which of the wolves are you casting this on top?
So, not the two that I entangled, and not the giant one, but the biggest one, but the one that's like he's the
He's
the
free
biggest
from
one,
the
like-
group.
Yeah, the one that's been damaged.
Oh, no, the one that has been damaged is the big one.
Yeah, that's
Oh, the big one?
other
Okay, then I'll
damage.
cast on the big one. Okay,
Alright.
my bad.
Yeah, you're bad. Good
Okay.
try.
Trying to keep track of that.
Mhm.
Alright, you are going to pass a wisdom saving throw. These are not the smartest creatures because they're fucking dogs.
They're a bunch of good bad
I don't know
boys.
how to break this to you, but they're dogs. And that only has a +1 modifier, so, you know, that's a 7.
Yeah.
Alright, so roll up on a 1d12,
Okay.
because, you know, that one's definitely already been damaged.
Plus your spell tech.
That's one.
Wow.
Come on.
Oh, funny.
So, you, while making this dramatic, like, it is obvious that you have visibly struggled to detain and injure this creature, and it kind of yelps at the struggle that it had to make. But even though it struggled, it, like, just the damage, the strange cloud of, like, murky poison that you have sent towards this thing to necrotize its flesh, it just kind of gives it a hangnail. Like, it's mildly inconvenienced.
Okay.
And, alright, so next in the order is going to be Vola.
So I'm going to like, I'm gonna Hulk out. So I kind of just like, I'm gonna rage. I'm gonna shout out and challenge. Like, my entire body like crackles a small bit with like kind of like, you know, like divine energies. 'cause-
Yeah, so you just being a
so-
bitch right now.
Yeah, and I roar and challenge to the two that are, and I just charge over to one with my axe and just smash it into him.
Alright,
So- That is going to be, one sec.
Smash Bros.
Where's my- That's going to be, I get an additional +2 to this roll
alright,
because rage.
Yeet.
yeah, so that definitely hits. That distinctly
And then-
hits.
Yeah, I get another additional
Close.
+2 damage roll as well, so that's going to be a 14.
14. You're just hitting one of the normal wolves. So, you rear up your axe and you bring it down on pretty much the spine, like right between the shoulder blades of this wolf. And the wolf just drops. Like, you hear something in its body just go crack,
Okay, jeez.
and the wolf drops. It's not dead. It's not dead, but it is not getting back up immediately at
I
all.
just curb stomped it as I pull my axe out.
Yeah, it's just, it's hurt. You put the hurt on this wolf. Next in the order is going to be our darling Not Agnel
Awesome.
That usually means you should go.
Alright.
with your beautiful 2 for initiative.
So...
Somehow you didn't roll the lowest. There's still a wolf coming after you.
Wait, one of the wolves rolled a 1?
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, there was a nat 1 in the wolves. They're not, like I said, the wolves aren't doing the best with the rolls right now.
Yeah.
So I run over to the damaged wolf, the big guy.
Yes, the big
Can I
guy
do
that is
that?
currently
I have
not.
25 speed.
You have, your speed is 25?
Yeah, because I'm like far away. I think I'm far away because I'm like I was in the back of the group, or not in the back
Okay,
of the group, but
if
like
you were-
currently like in the.
If you were in the
entrance
back of the
entrance.
group, then these wolves are still about 30 or so feet away, so you can get like up to 5 feet on one, but you're not gonna be like in punching range.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be in swinging range.
Spell forehead.
All right. All
You
right.
are
Listen.
a bard.
The spells I have are disguise self, healing word, cure wounds, or
Did you
comprehend
literally
languages.
not pick a single thought? Like you somehow didn't pick
You
a
think-
single damaging cantrip.
You think I am smart? Oh, I have
Never
mage hand.
mind.
Sorry, I have
I
mage hand.
just remembered your character. Okay.
Can't you, you're a
should
bard,
do
can't you give us, inspiration, or can you not do that yet?
You should be able to do that.
Not this early. Oh yeah, never mind.
Oh yeah, I can't. Oh no, I can't give you.
Inspiration is level 1. It's a D6. You can give it to anybody
I thought.
He's
as
sick.
an action, I think, or as a bonus
Really?
action.
No, it's a D4.
Can I use mage hand to pet the dog?
Please!
Do you want to? If you want, if that's what you want to do,
Oh, no,
with
it
it.
is D6, yeah.
So why'd you take 2 like the same healing spell?
Cause double
That's
healing.
just, like,
Why? Because I am really smart. I use mage hand to
I
pet the
Because
pet
you know
the
what?
one of the wolf that hasn't gone yet.
All right. So you use Mage Hand to pet this wolf. Wait, if you're petting the wolf that hasn't gone yet, you're petting the one that just got fucking deleted. By that.
Honestly, not the one that's dead or the one that's damaged. The one that's
Yeah, you're gonna pet the other entangled
Yeah,
one because
yeah.
like if you're not, you're petting the deleted wolf.
yeah.
Okay, so
That's what
you
barbarian.
use Mage Hand to pet this wolf, and it seems like it wants to react like almost pleasantly, or just like in a calm way, but it can't. Like its ears kind of go back, and it rolls slightly from its entangled position, like it's trying to show you its belly and surrender, but it can't make it all the way over. And as soon as it's on its like side, it lets out this pained snarl yelp and immediately begins attacking the air where the hand should be. But it's a delayed response.
Alright.
And last to go here is our sad, nearly deleted buddy.
I feel so bad now for what I did to it.
So this wolf is really not doing the best. Its spine doesn't seem to be doing what a spine should do. No, it can move. Its spine just, it shouldn't look like an S, but it does.
It's fine, though. Don't worry, guys.
It looks like it got some severe scoliosis happening here. And, but still, despite the fact that it's struggling, it is going to limp drag its way over to Vola, and almost out of pure spite and revenge, it's going to try to bite the shit out of your ankle.
You know what? I can respect that.
It's like it can't do much more than that, but it's gonna try its damnedest. It's that way.
Oh.
It's biting the fuck out of you.
Good thing I'm enraged though, because I take half damage from that.
Yeah, so this little wolf is going to just generically bite the shit out of your leg, and that is going to be 2d4 plus 2 piercing.
Get it? Piercing?
You give me depression. Alright, so that is a 4 plus 2, that is 6 damage, but if you are enraged and it is hot, then that is 3 damage, and it is just, it's trying its best, but it doesn't have a functioning spine. So it kind of clamps onto your ankle and starts shaking its head viciously, but it's kind of just doing its best at this point.
I just kind of look down at it with like a very large amount of pity on my face. Like, I'm sorry.
You fucked over this wolf, honestly.
No, hold on. And like my last, like I just straight up say to it, I'm sorry I didn't kill you in one hit.
Metagame slash actual game. What is it? I say in both character and IRL or in metagame, we should just disable these wolves and see if we can get to the druid as fast as possible.
The druid's gone. The druid yeeted. I don't think you understand the speed that this druid yeeted.
We should still search for her. See if there's any.
Yeah, we can track her.
Like, this motherfucker just Naruto ran into. I don't know what you're trying.
I mean, Andrew, the one at my ankle is definitely disabled.
No, I know. I mean, disable them like that, so they're not gonna move.
So mean.
Please don't aim for the spines of these poor dogs. Jesus Christ. This is just animal cruelty at this
We are
point.
guiltless if they die by natural causes.
Isn't this TOS? Fuck.
How's it
Animal
TOS?
cruelty is not okay. I do not support animal cruelty on this stream. So yeah, that one.
Making a disclaimer on stream. We really don't
That's
support
what.
animal cruelty.
Look at that. What does the
Usually
stream say? That's right. That's a T, an O, and an S. I respect the terms of service. I do not condone animal cruelty. And back to the game.
Nick doesn't support animal cruelty, but
I mean, my character. I also just attacked Tyler over attacking the wolves, just to remind everybody.
Yeah, that's not. Anyhow, speaking of Zazel, it is back to you.
Hello. Okay.
Just for reference, there is the deleted wolf that is currently at Vola's feet. There is the bigger looking wolf that is still entangled. There is a wolf that is also entangled next to that one, and there is a perfectly healthy wolf standing somewhat nearby to the deleted wolf.
I'm assuming. Wait, hold on, let me check that. I'm assuming if they're restrained, they have advantage on their attack.
Yes, you have advantage on any attacks that you make against the restrained ones.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my short sword
Mm-hmm.
and then attack the huge one.
You attacking the big boy.
Big boy or the big one?
Which is a 22 advantage.
Mhm.
And yeah, so it's okay. It's a 22.
Yeah, so you're definitely damaging. You definitely hit.
That's a 7 plus 1d6 for some. Oh, because yeah, I have advantage, which means it's sneak attack.
Yep.
Andrew.
4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, right?
Yeah, that
11
wolf
damage.
is dead.
Alright, so you swing up with your short sword and you come down on this wolf, and despite the fact that it is obviously hurting from this, it still doesn't seem to be reacting much to these hits. Like, it's obviously very, very visibly wounded at this point. Like, you can tell that this thing is worse for wear, but it is no less relentless in utterly just snarling and snapping its jaws at anything that comes near.
Well, game on it's the sequel. I'm going to use my bonus action to attack with my dagger. Because I can do that. I'm
Go
going
ahead.
What am I gonna do? Yeah, whatever. I'll attack the big one again too. Boop. So 19 to hit. I'm assuming that hits.
That do hit.
Which is a 6 plus. Oh wait,
That's
no.
it.
It's once per turn.
It
So
applies.
yeah. So it's 6 damage to the that one.
Alright, big boy here hurting. Big boy here is, again, very visibly hurting, but it's still just angry. Like, you can tell that there is something very unnatural about this anger and the fact that it is trying so desperately to harm you, because it is, like, on death's door at this point. You can tell its ears are pinned back, it's bleeding profusely from multiple wounds on its body, and yet it is still struggling desperately, almost like its life depends on the fact that it breaks free and kills you.
Ugh, I don't like that shit.
Alright, and next in the order is the wolf that escaped. The wolf that is...
Oh, that's the one next to me.
Yes, the wolf that is nearby to you. This wolf is going to look at its deleted friend, and in a surprisingly logical move for a dog, is instead going to turn its attention towards the next closest enemy, which is going to be Azazel.
Is it close enough for me to opportunity attack as it leaves?
Yeah, you could.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Go crazy.
Axe go chop, boys. Has +2 to that, so that's a 17.
Yeah, definitely hits.
And that's gonna be another +2 to that, so that's gonna be another 14.
Again, you're like deleting these wolves. Same time, like they're still going. This didn't stop him. He is still going.
Jeez.
He's
Literally.
very. There's something unnaturally determined about these wolves. They want to kill you.
Axe comes down, it looks like a bolt of just like holy lightning just coming down on their neck.
Alright, so, Azazel, let's see, this wolf is going to try to lunge.
Oof.
And yeah, no,
That's not
it,
hit.
because of the fact that it got cracked in the fucking spine as it leaps towards you, it just kind of falls about 5 feet or so away from you, and it's yelping, and oddly enough, again, this one all of a sudden freezes where it is standing and begins biting at its own foreleg, and actually genuinely, like, injures its own leg. Like, it seems to have torn out a bit of muscle from its own leg and just shreds itself. And it's yelping the entire time, so it's obviously hurting it, but it's still just randomly attacking itself.
That's kind of gross.
Next in the order is our sweet, sweet
What?
Hillary.
The fuck? Why are you bopping these dogs? I cast Thorn Whip on Avola. So.
Alright, we've done this once
It's
before.
a great campaign.
Wait, what is it?
Y'all are all attacking each other straight up.
Fuck!
And I'm living for.
Yeah,
Against me.
it's not gonna hit.
It is against your AC.
Yeah,
it
that's
did
a
not hit.
16. So no.
But you can just talk to them like a normal person and ask them to stop deleting the wolves.
Okay, if they can't figure it out by my
You have a
angry
voice.
fairy fury.
Especially because aren't you still on, like, or around
No, I was-
Zola
I
very
was fl-
closely because you were riding on
No, I was
Zola the
flying
entire way here?
on my own ever since we got past the caravan.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can talk like a normal person.
I'm a
and just
child,
ask.
and I'm not gonna do that. So fuck off.
There's no need for violence.
I'm a child, and I'm angry, and I can't use spells on them because they're not fucking animals.
Wait,
But they're clearly like.
Nick, how old is your
Or
kid?
you
Hey.
can just even...
201 years old.
You
That's
have
right, I hit the
words.
200 mark recently. Yeah, I'm mature for my age.
Oh,
Yeah, but like,
you're such a
also,
big boy.
They're
I'm
clearly,
proud of
like,
you.
Insane. So.
Alright.
About the mystery.
So, that was you. You just did that. That was your whole action. Congratulations. Next up would have been the druid, but the druid is gone now. So, next up is Destroza.
Alrighty.
Oh, right.
I low-key really wish I had gone higher in the... If I had my actual...
You
plan was
literally
actually
only said
really,
half
like,
of those
keep
words,
it in
Pierce.
place.
We could only hear half. We could only hear half of those words.
50%
want
of what you just said came to our end.
Order, because my
No, so
attacks.
what I said was I really wish I went ahead of the initiative order because my original plan was to... What?
What?
Nick,
Half
like,
of your
what?
words are cutting out, and I'm laughing because it was the same word twice in a row.
God damn it. Anyway, what I was saying, hopefully I'm not cutting out again, is that I wished I had gone ahead of the druid in the initiative order because my original plan was to restrain her.
Yeah, well, she has thoroughly
Bleed out.
needed, and considering the speed that she was going, the amount of time
She's
this
gone.
battle has been going, she's gone now. She's just gone.
Only thing that would catch her at this point is like a tabaxi monk.
Yeah, she has disappeared into the woods at this point. Like, she was traveling at a speed that you don't think a human should have been able to do. Especially because she was on her hands and knees, which was unsettling. Anyhow, Deshreza, what you doing?
The wolves are still around, right?
Yes, there are still 4 wolves. There is the big old dire wolf that seems to be worse for wear. There are 2 wolves whose spines are just dead, and then there is 1 still healthy wolf, and it is currently entangled.
Okay. I shall go to the one with one of the wolves that have their spines all fucked up, and I use Dicem on them.
Oh.
Alright.
I slice them. Actually, not
All right.
slice 'em. Let's see. Let me just
Do them good rolls.
I got a 16.
Alright, so that definitely hits. Roll, honestly, do you want to roll damage?
Can I?
You can.
Okay, how do I do that?
Click
Because-
the words under the 16. Click slice them.
Okay. Again?
Like,
Oh,
see how it's red?
yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Alright,
Okay.
so, what weapon are you using for this?
It's a
sickle.
Sickle. Wolf's dead now. Wolf's gone. You bring up your sickle, and you bring it down hard on the back of this wolf's neck, and you take it out of its misery.
I
Like,
literally slice
At
them.
this point, you were probably doing it a favor. Like, you pretty much decapitate the thing. It is, this wolf is as dead can get. It's done. Alright,
I kind of nod over to Deshuosa. I'm like, clean slash.
Alright, next in the order is the big wolf, and they are going to take this opportunity to try to free themselves. And they are finally unentangled. And now that they are free from this, they are going to. They're just going to take this opportunity to use their movement and, without turning their back to any of the party, they are going to try to get themselves a little bit closer to the tree line, like they're backing up. It's almost like they're finally starting to retreat, and it's almost like they're fighting themselves for the ability to do this, because they seem rather disoriented. And they're backing towards the tree line, but they're still snarling and snapping, and occasionally will just bite the air for no reason, which is very confusing to look at.
Isn't that like the like common terms for like rabies and stuff?
Ew, I just
Like biting wounds, snapping in the air.
You get the feeling that something's just incorrect about these wolves. Like something's not.
I know. I'm just more asking out of character, like out of curiosity.
You can use the Google.
Sort of, but this is beyond
You can
that.
also just look that question up on Google.
Shut up.
Fair point.
Alright, next in the order is the one remaining still fully healthy wolf, who, if I remember correctly, did in fact successfully... Actually, no, they're the only one that still has to untangle themselves. Be free! They are free as shit! This wolf literally just tears itself from these vines, and it seems so offended.
Is it so free that it frees itself from whatever is happening to it?
Not quite. This wolf just straight, like, Hulk-ass rips itself out of these vines like it's goddamn nothing, and looks almost angry that you dared defy it like this. And,
Bull looks at it and challenge to it, like, I want to fight you.
And since it takes a full action to free from that one, in response, all they're going to do is back up with the other wolf towards the tree line. And again, it seems more like they are trying to defend something behind themselves rather than they are actually in fear for their own lives.
Okay.
Next to Rooney is Qua, or Lazuli.
Alright. Well, let's see here. I'm going to... Let's see, how far away are the wolves from me?
The wolves are about, I'd say, like, have you walked towards the wolves?
Yeah.
Alright, then they are now that they have backed towards the tree line, they are about 10 or so feet away.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Quaz, hope we put him down.
Better fucking not.
So I'm gonna attack them with my javelin.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
That one.
Oh, okay. Which one are you hitting?
The
Big boy that's already injured?
Yeah.
Alright. So, as you go to swing this javelin at this wolf, something very strange happens. You feel like you should have made contact. You know that you by all logic, you have made contact with this. But when you look at where the javelin has struck, instead, the wolf is about a foot or so away from where you thought it originally was.
Like a laser beast.
It suddenly just isn't where it should be. And it doesn't, like, your brain almost doesn't process what has happened for a moment, because you were sure, entirely, fully, 100% sure that you had hit this creature, but it's suddenly just not there. And you have no memory of even seeing it move. You didn't even blink, it just wasn't there.
Right.
Alright. Next up is Vola.
So,
You still have the one remaining deleted wolf in front of you.
So, am I close enough to charge over to the large boy?
You are close enough to the large boy too.
Okay, so I'm gonna
But
nod.
you still have the poor. Please kill the poor deleted wolf.
I'm gonna nod to Rosha, and I'm gonna be like, finish that poor one off for me, and then I charge over to the large one.
Alright.
And axe go chop.
Alright, axe go chop.
It's gonna be a 17.
Oddly enough. Oh, okay, 17, you're fine.
Yeah,
Go crazy.
because +2 from rage.
Go crazy.
And this time I only do 4 damage.
So you hit, and you sink into the meat, but this dog is still kicking. It's hurting, but this dog is still kicking, and it snarls at you.
I
It is
snarl back at it.
grunted.
I snarl back at it.
It is not okay with any of the proceedings, and it wants to vocally make that known.
I don't like its sass, so I snarl back.
Okay, you snarl back at the wolf, and the wolf seems even angrier, like you're just pissing this wolf off at this point. Next in the order is the... Not. Our dear Not a Gnilf.
Alright. So I realized I didn't walk to the to like a
Yeah, no.
distance where I could
I
have
assume
walked
that you
last
didn't walk,
turn.
and you just used Mage Hand.
No, I forgot to. I meant to normally walk, so
Yeah, you're still like 25, 30 feet away.
I guess I like run close to like the wolf, but not as close as I can. I can't really do anything, so I guess I just like scream at it or something. I don't know.
Okay, so you and your stubby little gnome legs run over close to the area of the fight, and there you go. You're there now. You did that. You did that.
Yep.
Azazel, it's up to you now.
Oh gosh, okay. Wait, is the big dude still kicking?
Yes, big dude is still. He's angry looking, and he looks in pain, but he's still kicking.
Sneak attack him from the side, because I'm right on him.
I ran out. Okay, yeah. Then I'll do that.
You're not exactly sneaky anymore because they've noticed the fact that you've stabbed their brethren twice now.
No, but sneak attack can trigger if you've got an ally next to some
Oh.
target.
What's with that? That's
Sure. So sneak. Yes, stabby.
that's 5 plus 6 damage.
Yep, so the bigger wolf finally goes down, and when it hits the earth, oddly enough, all of the distortion that you saw in its body seems to just disappear. But it's not like you visibly see anything change. It just stops, as if it never happened. Like, the body just returns to the way that a normal wolf's body would look. Only, you know that it was weird, but it's just not anymore.
Interesting.
It's just straight back to normal. Alright, next in the order is going to be the other sad deleted wolf. And said sad deleted wolf is going to use this opportunity and lunge at... it is going to make a lunging, biting attack at Dishrosa.
Oh boy.
Assuming not going to hit because, you know, the wolf is dying. The wolf is very, very actively dying. And you notice that as this wolf lunges in your direction like it was trying to bite you, its jaw opens just a little bit too wide for it to be possible. Like,
Oh,
it looks
boy.
like it's unhinging its jaw, kind of like a snake, to do this. And, it just doesn't look quite correct. but it does miss you, and you just kind of sidestep out of the way.
Yeah, we definitely need to kill these things. Something's wrong.
Yeah, I don't trust them.
We need to fix this, like, I need to go to bed.
You know what?
Yeah, I have to go
Yeah.
after this.
I cast Thunder Wave.
Alright, so, Yopbat,
Cast it on one. Just gonna roll that. Yep.
so, 13 Constitution save. So that hits, and the Squishy Wolf is now just deleted because he had 1 HP left and he wasn't doing his
You
best.
didn't need to waste a spell on it.
Whoops.
And just like the wolf before this one, again, it just kind of, all of the weird stuff happening with it kind of just seems to stop, and it just looks like a normal wolf, limp and dead on the ground.
Wait, so you didn't mention that for the first wolf? Did that? I'm assuming that you meant.
It happened as well, but I just kind of forgot to mention it. But yeah,
I just wanted to make sure that like that one just didn't still for some reason maintain its weird.
yeah, no. Alright, and next in the order after the big woof woof is the still surviving healthy wolf.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's still one healthy wolf. Y'all still haven't just hurt this one yet.
Oh, it's right next to me though. Lol.
Yeah, it's right next to you, and it is going to take this opportunity to snarl angrily now that its brethren is dead, and it's going to lunge for Azazel.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tyler.
Rip the sad solo wolf.
Yeah.
So that didn't hit, so, you know. Let's see. And that just brings it over to Lazuli. There is one wolf remaining, and it is near the back near Vola.
Did we skip some?
Okay, only one wolf remaining.
No, because there's a lot of things that have
No,
died,
but
and
'cause-
also I consider Distrose's turn to be using
My
Thunderwave,
turn.
because she was in fact next in the order.
I went after Big Wolf.
You're, I audibly told you it was your turn.
Fine. No, you said it.
Go.
I must have
Yo.
missed it. So he's gonna go with it.
Anyhow, either Lazuli or Barry, one of two, is to do something now, because there is one wolf left.
Claws go. Claws go. I
Someone
missed my
speak.
turn.
What?
It's Class's turn, I think.
Claws, it's your turn.
Quaz, are you alive?
He's muted.
Oh,
It's
my
on
God,
the
what's
deck,
up?
so it's onto you. Barry, go.
What? I'm okay.
Oh wait, Quaz is alive.
Plus, you're allowed to go. Somebody
Okay.
is gonna go.
Got you. Okay. I'm gonna use Toll the Dead again. Why not?
Mhm.
Oh no, the healthy wolf.
Alright, wisdom saving throw. That is a 15 plus 1, so 16.
Does that hit? Class?
I am.
For wisdom?
Yep, wisdom saving.
It's a save, so it should be based on your spell DC. It's on the character sheet.
Oh, spell DC.
Go
right.
to spells.
Yeah,
spell
it's 14, so it's a hit. Or miss, whatever.
Cool.
You do
So,
have damage,
I miss.
I think, right?
I
guess he missed.
Oh my god. Please stop, please.
You stop
Please,
that
I
right now.
value my sanity.
I will bite you.
If you're Vola, you always hit, and you fucking mutilate someone.
Jesus. Okay. So, you try to cast this on the wolf, and the wolf deftly dodges out of the way, but kind of snaps at the air where the spell passed, almost like it can't comprehend that it's not something it can kill. It's not a smart boy. Good boy, but it's not a smart boy. Alright, Barry, you want to take your turn since we...
No, that would just keep going if we. No, just go through with it. Just keep going through the order where we are.
Okay. Alright, then that would bring it over to Vola.
Well, you know what I say.
Yeah, we're just
Axe
gonna...
go chop.
Yeah, we're just gonna delete the wolf.
That's gonna be another
Yeah,
17.
That's a hit.
This time I do 8 damage.
So you hit the wolf, and it's staggered, and it kind of turns and tries to bite at the axe handle. Like, it can't reach it because of the area you hit it. You kind of hit it in flank, and it tries to bite the axe handle, but it can't, and...
Pretty far past the metal to hit the handle.
It's not, like, able to get to it, so it just kind of bites the air around its own butt, almost like a dog trying to chase its own tail for a second. But it's still on its feet. It's hurting, but it's still on its feet.
Not gonna lie, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's trying its best. All right, and
I say to the dog, I commend you for your ability to stay alive, but please,
yeah, it just kind of snarls at you. It doesn't understand words, so it just kind of snarls at you.
I snarl back.
Gnelf, it's up to you.
Alright. I quickly stabbed the last wolf with my hammer. I mean, punch. Hit.
Yeah, you stabbed the
Bludgeoning.
wolf with your hammer. Thank you. Good, great. Wow.
Yes. Anyway.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Oh my god.
You missed.
Oh wait. What?
You missed.
Yeah. So you.
No. I didn't. Sorry, I didn't roll.
Yeah, you rolled your attack.
No, I rolled. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you swing and you miss, and again, this dog just seems very affronted by this, and snarls in your direction.
By this tiny little man trying to hit him with a hammer.
Yeah, he's like, really? This is the best that you can bring to the table? Okay, and next in the order is Azazel.
I'm going to... Am I close enough to it? I can, like, do shit with it.
Yeah, you have a high enough movement speed that you can
Oh, yeah,
get...
I forgot how this game works.
Like, you can just get up to it.
Yeah. I'm gonna... What did I do? Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna attack it with... Oh, okay.
No, you don't. So this, as all of you are attacking this wolf, the effect that happened on the previous wolf, where it seemed to kind of just not be where you thought it was, has happened now repeatedly with this one wolf. Almost like as these allies have died, it has become increasingly difficult to hit, and its almost grasp on this realm doesn't seem to be correct. It will just randomly show up. When you tried to stab the Zazel, it was about a foot or so ahead of you, and now it is about 5 feet to the right of where you thought it was. So it is now slightly away from both you and Bola.
Can we just make it that the sole reason my attack hit is just being axed so goddamn wide because of how huge I am and my weapon is?
Anyhow, so you swing and this wolf kind of glitches out of the way as if it was never there in the first place. And it's kind of weird. Barry, you are up next. Please God end this fight.
Fine. Fuck it. If y'all wanna fucking kill these wolves, let's fucking kill these wolves.
Okay, no, you don't have to kill the wolf. I'm not saying you have to kill it. You can knock it unconscious.
Wait, why did
You're
that...
a sweet,
okay,
gentle, sweet boy.
Alright, does a 16 hit?
Yes, a 16 does in fact hit the puppo. Are you rolling to kill, or are you rolling to incapacitate?
I just
Because
chucked
you
a
can
javelin
just knock
at it,
out.
so what happens, happens. Because I'm mad at this point. 6 damage.
Alright, so 6 damage on this doggo. I don't know how to break this to you, but you kind of just did the same thing Vola's been doing, and this wolf is just in agony now. Like, it is in... the javelin is...
Yeah,
did
I
you
tucked
throw
it
the
out
javelin?
of pure rage at the rest of the party.
The javelin is now stuck in its, like, stomach area, and every time it moves, it yelps because the javelin moves
Sorry,
with it.
friend, but these idiots
So
can't
it's now
fucking
just
figure out what they're
in
fucking doing.
agony. Yeah, this wolf is in a lot of pain, and it seems to just be very, very distressed at this point. Like, it's almost like whatever has come over it for the previous parts of the fight is kind of wearing off, and now it just seems scared and confused. Alright, next in the order is going to be... Disruptor.
Alrighty. So the poor Wolfie seems to be like finally getting to his senses.
Yeah.
So try to like use animal handling to like figure out what's wrong with him, to like calm him down and like hopefully make sure that he doesn't like go insane.
Alright, go ahead and roll animal.
Alrighty. I got a 9.
So you try to kind of calm down this animal and commune with it, but it's still very much out of it. Like, it's not, especially with the injuries it has distracting it, it's not mentally there right now. And all of your attempts just kind of immediately fail, and it snarls if you try to, like, approach it in any way. It just seems very, very distressed. You can still take an action, because that was kind of more of like a free action type thing.
Okay. So I'll try a different tactic. Let's try... let's try playing the kazoo at it.
Alright,
tunes.
you really want to roll performance for that, you can go for that.
Heck yeah. I mean, I have a tool proficiency, but its attribute is charisma for it.
Yeah, so just roll and apply whatever will.
14! Let's go!
Alright, so you start playing the kazoo towards this dying, bleeding, injured, gashed open wolf with a javelin sticking out of its shoulder, or stomach, and it just seems confused by the whole affair. And yeah, no, it didn't really react much to it. It just seems confused still.
I'm pretty sure that's just further torture.
Yeah, so hey, Lazuli, we on to you, buddy. Please.
What is that noise?
It's Nick using a buzzsaw in his dorm.
Wait, what? Okay, so my mic can't fucking pick up anything, but it apparently can pick up my fucking air can. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
loud.
It's very, very much so picked up on that.
Wait, whose turn is it? Sorry,
It's Lazuli, or Lavely, or whatever.
Lazuli, yeah.
does he have to go?
If there is people that need to yeet, literally the instant this battle session is over.
Guess whose mic stopped working? Oof.
The exposition of what is happening after this fight is going to have to wait. Just please, this wolf is on 1 HP. Please, God.
Can someone just kill the wolf? Just hit it. Hit it with something.
Can I just like yeet?
Yeah, you know what? Okay, if we're skipping Lazuli, hi, Vola, you're next in the order. Please do what needs to be done.
Axe go chop boy.
Oh no, he hit it with a
Okay,
bait.
okay, yeah, he's rolling. Good, great. That you miss anyhow. Vola, do it.
Ugh.
God, please. Jesus
Vola.
fucking Christ, you miss. Please, okay. No. No.
Alright, time with my hammer! Oh, wait, wrong one.
Please, I'm literally begging somebody to kill this. Oh my God.
Alright, who else is up? Tyler, back to you.
I think someone's back to you. Please, God.
You know what? Let's dice them.
God, look at you.
Oh my god!
Oh my God.
Yeah, my turn.
Why are we triple energy?
Please tell me, now working.
She's also missing. Barry, Barry, it's on to you. Please, God, let this be over.
Nick, please
Throw
kill
my
this
dagger.
wolf. Nick,
I want this to be done.
is it
God,
over?
thank God you hit it.
Okay.
Just roll damage, please. God, you don't even have to roll damage if you don't want to. You strike this wolf in the
throw the
nape
dagger
of
my
its
way.
neck, and it just hits the
There.
ground. It's
Are you
dead.
fucking
It's-
happy? We
You
fucking killed
probably
the wolves.
clip it in the spine, honestly.
There
It
we
just
go.
goes limp.
Fuck
And,
all of you.
So, from the back of the group where Cyanth kind of ran off and hid, he kind of steps up and he's like, this was wrong. There's something very wrong here. And we'll go over the rest of that exposition on what's happening here next session, because oh my god, please, why couldn't you kill wolves?
Alright.
Alright.
Thanks y'all for playing. That was
Cool.
hilarious.
And that's gonna be a good end to the
Well,
stream.
so, Andrew,
Yeah, I'll pick you up around 3. Like, might be a little earlier.
All we did for like